This.
Okay, looks like we're live. Cyrus, would you mind manning questions on YouTube?
Yeah, I have the thing open. Cyrus is already saying he's cool. Looks good on my end.
Okay, great.
What? I don't agree with this. What?
Well, might not have any choice in the matter. Hello, and welcome to Famicast 98, your live Famicast for the latter part of February. The only live Famicast in February. Okay, whatever. February 2017. I'm your host, Danny Bivens, and today I'm joined by James Charlton.
Buenas noches, Daniel.
Right back at you. Also joined by Ty Schubert.
Namaste.
There it is. And Cyrus Delaney.
Diego Chmakarja.
What he said. So.
He always makes up languages. We're using real ones.
Yeah, I know. It's so weird. It's totally out of the loop. So, we got a lot of cool stuff to talk about today. Kind of fair bit of news. We have a Life in Japan segment that we're going to talk about. And for maybe new listeners or whatever, hey, we're a Japan-based podcast, talk about Nintendo. Hello. You probably already know that, but just in case.
We're the only Nintendo podcast based in Japan.
Yes, that's
Fact.
true. It's true. So we're going to go ahead and just kick up the show with new business. So let's go ahead and start that. And Cyrus, would you mind kicking things off for us today?
Yo. So, what was I playing with this week? I was playing and totally abandoning Fire Emblem Heroes. I think I'm done with that game.
I mean, you're like god tier levels for your guys, right? Like 40-ish on some of the things that I've seen.
I had all my guys like level 40, but I didn't have Takumi, the archer, who was completely overpowered and broken. So my team was garbage.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, that game, it just completely ran out of steam, and I cannot be bothered even logging in to get my free like orbs every day now.
Well, I mean, if you've done the story stuff, I mean, sure, you can come back and try to get orbs and whatever, but what?
Yeah, like my team is sufficiently powerful enough now I can go back into any story mode thing that they release and just clear it and get all the story that I don't understand and clear through it.
Do the controls work well for you, Cyrus?
When you're playing, do you use the drag and drop controls?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, turn those things off.
You can turn them off?
Yeah, if you go to the options, you can turn it on to like classic Fire Emblem controls, where you tap a guy, then tap a spot, then tap to attack. It's all
okay. I was wondering that because I just couldn't get, like, it just was very unresponsive, like, sometimes.
Yeah, and it'll sometimes drop your guys in places you don't want them to.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's like the first tip I got when I looked at the Reddit was like, turn off the drag controls.
I'm fine with the drag controls. I mean, how old are your guys' devices? I mean, that could have something to do with it too.
I got mine this April.
Okay.
I refuse to accept that as an excuse for being crap.
I'm just saying sometimes like load times, all that type of stuff, it's a factor.
Yeah. Either way, it's still like, it's a game that if you like mobages or whatever they're called, then you might like this, and if you've got that serious Fire Emblem hankering, it'll fill your needs, but I am done.
I pretty much stopped playing it during the last episode when I kind of loaded it up. That was when I stopped playing it, so I cannot join this.
I'll leave it on my phone, but I probably won't touch it until something interesting happens to it.
What was that? Turn into Advance Wars?
Yeah, that'd be. I would play that if they just changed the title screen to Advance Wars.
Yeah.
Aside from that, I was playing some Pokken this week.
Ooh.
So Pokken Tournament. I got that like launch day when it came out on Wii U, and I had played it in the arcade for a while, but couldn't keep up because it was too expensive. And no one was playing it. But the
problems.
So I got the Wii U version, and I loads fun, and then just kind of stopped playing it for no real reason, except I had no personal people to play against.
So you ended up playing the arcade more than the version at home?
I think I probably did, until I did this like marathon like gaming session to clear the game here in my house. And I it just annoyed me that I had this game that I didn't have all the characters unlocked for. That is like insults me as a fighting game player. I need all of the characters.
By the way, sorry if you've mentioned this in the past. I probably just deleted it from my memory on purpose. But like, is there any interaction between the home version and the arcade version?
Absolutely not. And that's one of the big things I was going to talk about, is that so the Wii U version came out, and it has all like the code is designed to like accept DLC characters. Like all of the DLC characters that came out in the arcade were first leaked through data mining the Wii U game, but none of them ever released on the Wii U because the Wii U tanked so bad. So the Wii U is like it's missing 4 characters that the arcade has, and it's 2 big balance patches behind the arcade.
But the characters are in the Wii U code, but they're not unlocked.
It's like the hooks they need to eventually deploy the characters into the Wii U are there, but the characters are not there. It's
That's
like
mental.
there's like a line of code that's like, if there's code for Greninja or if there's code for Empoleon, this will work. If it's not there, it's just a single line of code. So they're not there. It's just like a few mentions of them are in the code.
Okay, slow down there, Mr. Programmer. You're going too technical. Straight over my head.
Well, either way, they're not in the game, but there's the possibility of adding them in there was there. And
that's really weird to have. Like you would assume that this exists somewhere on some computer in some part of whoever makes this game.
Yeah, Namco Bandai. They had the plan that we're going to release all the DLC characters on the console, but just didn't at some point. So.
Can you imagine like the leak for Smash Brothers, like the Ryu and like Bayonetta, the data miners found they were coming and then they just didn't ever show up. That was just so weird. Like
that happened with Marvel vs. Capcom 3. There was like mentions of Dr. Octopus and all these other characters, and then they never released. And that drove people mad because they were in the code. So yeah, it happens.
Sounds like Mortal Kombat fans. It's like people make up characters that don't actually exist, and then they end up existing eventually in further versions of the game.
Or Killer Instinct, Vine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He'll show up eventually.
And so with Pokken at the moment, it was just Evo, the big World Championship fighting game tournament, recently had a thing where you could vote in your favorite game to get playable. And
right, yeah. And Nintendo were trying to make ARMS get in there, right?
Yeah. So that didn't do too well. But the top 2 were Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and Pokken Tournament, who were like $50,000 higher because you had to pay with you donated money, and the game with the most donations got added to the game. And got added to the tournament. So Pokken Tournament had like $70,000 or something. I can't remember, but it like, even if it had been entered into the competition, the console version, and thus the only way you can play it in America, is several balance patches behind the Japanese game and is missing all these characters. So if it had been playable, it would have been like, what were they going to do? That they would like have to import Japanese arcade cabs to play this game? Or
yes, perfectly. Yeah, not a hard thing to do. Not expensive at all.
So stick a few stamps on it, you're done.
This was kind of why I was interested in playing Pokken again, because it was like at the forefront of all my fighting game news pages was like Pokken.
Is the end of the story, Pokken didn't win, right? Marvel won.
It didn't win. No, it came second. So it's going to get like tournament presents next year or something. So hopefully it will get like a deluxe version on the Switch with all the DLC characters.
Right. I mean,
just as a joke, how much did ARMS get? Like 50 quid or something?
Oh, nothing. The other 2, like everything except those 2 games got like $100 maximum.
Amazing.
I mean, with you saying that...
That's Reggie paying for that.
Yes. I mean, Sai, with you saying that there are like these hooks into the Wii U game, but they just didn't do it. I mean, that just seems like, the Switch version seems like it's probably inevitable.
Yeah, and like the Wii U copy, like it sold really well for a Wii U game. Like it was top of the charts when it came out. It's
little asterisk there.
Yeah, like as sad as it is, like by Wii U standards, it had good sales. By any other console, nah.
So Pokken Deluxe sometime at the end of this year. / next year.
That's what I'm
Confirmed.
I'm guessing it will be, but probably before like Evo. I'm guessing it's going to be announced within the next few months. I'm guessing.
Do you think it'll come before or after Smash Deluxe?
Ooh, that's a good one.
I'm just adding Deluxe onto everything because that's what Nintendo's done so far.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know. I'd
That
say
seems to make,
before.
it seems to make this the most sense, doesn't it? Like, because like Smash had so much DLC, and you know, if that got re-released as a $60 game, that you would be saving a lot of money because there's a lot of stuff got added to it. Right?
I'd say it's without a doubt Smash is coming. They still they haven't released all of the Smash amiibo yet, but they have
Right.
shown the finished versions of them.
They'll probably get released at the same time, won't they? Like,
Yeah, that's like
Smash
they're
the
waiting
Switch.
for those to finish, and then they're like, "Yeah, look, you can complete your Smash Bros. Collection, but you have to buy the game again."
and the name is so easy to update as well because it's just Smash for 3DS, Smash for Wii U, and then just Smash for Switch. I guess it's like it's not like they have to think of some fancy new name for it.
Deluxe.
Yeah, Smash for Switch Deluxe. Good.
Next.
That's my line.
I know.
So my last game I played, which is I did Phoenix Wright Dawn of Justice, the new 3DS one.
Okay.
And that game is awesome. That is like one of the best Phoenix Wright games they've released. It's super, super good. And it's more like an Apollo Justice 2 than a Phoenix Wright 6 or whatever game it is now.
Right. 6.
But
What?
because it's like you play as Apollo Justice for most of the game, and it's a testament to how good this is that I hated Apollo Justice. He was just a poor man's Phoenix Wright. But in this game, he's really cool, and I was like, yeah, I'm rooting for Apollo Justice. How did that happen? And it's like, and some of the cases are bonkers. Like even by Phoenix Wright standards, where at one point you're representing and interviewing an orca, that in this one, like you end up like having to defend your client at gunpoint, and everyone in the room is going to be executed if you lose, and the opponent is changing the laws at like during the trial. It's like it's totally nuts, but it's awesome.
Wow.
So like I haven't bought the DLC for this, but I will 100% buy the DLC cases that they announced for it.
Nice.
So if you've hung on to Phoenix Wright this whole time, keep it going. This one's worth it. The last Dual Destinies, the previous DS game or 3DS game was kind of dodgy, but this one is a return to form.
Well,
Cool. Yeah,
Ty's the only other person who plays these games, right? And he doesn't play Nintendo
borrowed-
games anymore.
I borrowed the first one from Ty, and I have the trilogy on 3DS. I just haven't, went through them all yet.
Do it, man. Do it.
Ty, do these new games interest you at all?
Yeah, they do. I need to catch up on the series.
But the only way is to play them on a Nintendo system, so you screwed, I guess.
Yeah, I know. Maybe I'll pick up another 3DS and hack the shit out of it.
There you go. I was waiting for the punchline. What, he's going to pay? He's going to pay for games? Oh, there you go. Never mind.
I might. I mean, I've paid for games, but come on, I need to break the region lock. Let's be real.
Right. What are the language options on it, Cyrus? Are you?
I honestly don't know. I bought it European, downloaded off the eShop, so I don't know if.
There's no language options.
Yeah,
Other than
I can't
other
remember. I
European
got it
languages.
so long ago.
Okay. Cool.
Okie dokie.
That's all I've been doing.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll go ahead and continue on with new business here. I have two things that are slightly topical for different reasons, and you'll see why here in a minute. And the first game I want to talk about is actually something that came out last year on the Wii U Virtual Console, and I think we had a fun time. James had a fun time giving us a beautiful rendition of the game's theme song. And maybe, actually, James, maybe if you do that, people go on. I don't even think they're actually saying 1080 when they're doing that. But
Yes, they are. What else would they be saying?
have you ever just sat there and tried to listen to the intro song from 1080 and it's like, and you're like, what is going on? Anyway, so yeah, I've been playing a little bit more of 1080 snowboarding on the Wii Virtual Console. I bought it last year. I played it for a bit, but I went through and saw that I hadn't even cleared, I think, the first difficulty level for for the match races and stuff. So
it's a hard game to get back into. If you're rusty, it's like it'll kick your ass immediately, won't it?
Right. And I remember I played it on the Wii Virtual Console back in the day, and I think the way that the controls are laid out for the N64 version, they translate pretty well over to like a pro style controller. You can use. I think I was using the left, like basically L2 button for like Z, and and then it's just like a couple of face buttons that you're using and stuff.
I don't think you could map them on the Wii, but you can fully map everything on the Wii U, right? Right.
And like I think you have to use the camera buttons, the C buttons for like maybe a few little weird things, but nothing in gameplay. So I mean, you're basically just using the jump, and then maybe the Z button to like kind of crouch down a little bit and stuff. So I'm still always kind of amazed every time I go back to this game, like how it kind of holds up graphically to an extent. I mean, obviously when they start zooming in on like the backgrounds and stuff, you could see all sorts of.
It's just a giant JPEG, isn't it?
Basically. But it's kind of impressive. Like it shows even in that close up, the opening intro video, you can see like they're zooming in on the Japanese guy. I think his name's like Kensuke, and they call him Kensuke.
Kensuke Tanabe.
It's Kensuke Kimachi, and it's like okay. But they're zooming in on him, and you can see like the wind
Fred
kind of
Durst
blowing.
or whatever, from America.
Rob Haywood.
That's what
Ricky
I said.
Winterborn. Yes. But no, you can see like even in the N64 game, you can see like their little jackets kind of like blowing in the wind, which is pretty impressive for a game of that era.
Yeah, I think they focused on the right things. Like they focused on like the snow effects, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Like when you lean into the snow, when the hand touches the snow, in any other game, like a PS1 game, it would just glitch through it, right? But this actually makes like a pattern in the snow, like you would.
I remember that was like a big selling point. Like, I remember reading a review of this in like Nintendo Power or something back in the day, and they're like, "Yeah, leaves real troughs of snow." That was like their huge thing.
Yeah, and I mean, being an N64 game, this stuff doesn't stick around forever, but it doesn't matter because you're going down a mountain and you're not going to even see it. But
it's like Wave Race. It's basically Wave Race on snow, isn't it? They put as much effort into the water as they did for the snow.
Yeah. And even like I remember playing back in the day, I think Cool Borders on PlayStation, and like the thing about Cool Borders, at least from what I remember, my limited time with the game, it was more arcadey, and it seemed like it was harder to fall down. Like 1080, if you just go in and start playing and don't know what you're doing, you're not going to even be able to land like little simple jumps, and you're going to not even be able to have enough health to get to the end of the race.
Well, most people just like push forward on the stick all the time, and that's the worst thing you can do because you just go straight forward and face plant into the snow.
Yeah,
it's like real snowboarding.
Yeah, I mean, it's really intricate. I mean, there's a lot of kind of technique to it. I mean, if you're in the air, you kind of, if you want to make sure you land and don't like fall and eat shit, you gotta use that joystick to kind of figure out like, okay, I should land it a specific way so I don't go tumbling down this mountain.
I think, Danny, that comparison you just made is kind of like why I'm a Nintendo gamer, because like, the PlayStation would have had the FMV full motion video intro. It would have had a soundtrack with like, 20 real licensed songs, but it would have controlled and looked like shit.
Yeah.
Like the Nintendo doesn't have any of that, but it's the gameplay is all there. That's basically why I've always been a Nintendo gamer. Don't need any fancy.
Yeah, and I don't think I'd go that far with Cool Borders, but I mean, I tend to agree.
I've never played Cool Borders, but I bet you it's got some flashy intro that you only watch once, and it takes 35 seconds to load.
Right. Yeah, so I've been kind of enjoying that. I keep getting stuck on the very last match race for Deadly Falls, I think. It's kind of like the most wide open map. There's a lot of different paths that you can take, and it's basically you're going down. Well, obviously you're going down the side of a mountain, but this
also
is more
frozen stuff, right? Frozen ice.
There's like mountain little peaks around and all sorts of crazy stuff, and you're facing like the ice rider or something. He's like a like transparent blue ice rider, and he's riding the penguin board.
Mr. Glass from Unbreakable.
Yes, same guy. No, but man, like I don't know why, but I always liked being Ricky Winterborn, the Canadian guy who's really good at tricks.
Yeah.
And I've just been continually getting to that last race, and because Ricky is so slow compared to like the other racers, like I just lose that, and I just keep making mistakes and falling down. So
Right.
but
Got to keep those knees bent as fast as possible, right?
Yes.
Man, there's nothing as scary as like going across ice, and it's like you're trying to keep your balance on the ice and try and go fast at the same time. It's really nerve-wracking.
Right. In real life or in 1080 or both?
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know if I'll actually. Well, I'm so close. I should just keep hammering through and seeing if I can do it. I'll give it a shot. Another game I've been playing too, like I said, relevant. I'd say this is relevant. It's wintertime and whatever. People snowboard occasionally. Cyrus mainly. Anyways, so the other game I've been playing, something I quit playing multiple times and just kind of restarted just last week or a couple weeks ago, and that's Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time 3D on 3DS. And man, I mean, I bought this game when it first came out on 3DS back in 2011, so it's been a long time coming to like actually kind of play a little bit more. And I was playing last summer for a bit, and then right before the Water Temple, I just quit.
Before the Water Temple?
Well, it's before.
Looked at it and went, oh, fuck this.
I wasn't looking forward to it, but what got me back into it, like I was doing the item exchange quest so you can get the Bigoron sword, and I got back into it with that. I'm like, all right, let's just do the Water Temple. It can't be that bad. And I can neither confirm nor deny. I had the help of a strategy guide to help me out, but I did get through it. And all the other dungeons after that, and then just maybe a little bit less than a week ago, I made it to Ganon's castle and had that epic final awesome battle and stuff.
Back to the water dungeon, isn't it like way easier and improved on 3DS? Like it's got the colored lines and stuff.
Yeah, that's very helpful. That's extremely helpful.
They tried their best without actually like completely redoing the dungeon. They just tried to make it as obvious as possible. Like. That they have they number the levels and they color it and everything.
Yeah,
what
and even
do you think of that? Of like going back to a game and making like it's a famously hated dungeon. Everyone hates the Water Temple. Mm-hmm. But what do you think of going back and remastering it to make it easier?
I don't necessarily have any problems with it. I wouldn't say that. Yeah, it is making it easier, but I think it's making it more accessible. Maybe that's just a cop out. But people.
The whole point of this remake is not to like completely redo the game, but it's to make you go back to how you imagine the game was all along. Because like when we go back and play the games, like from our youth, it's like, wow, this is way harder, this is way uglier, this is way whatever than I remember. But this kind of like 3D remake is to make you feel like exactly how you felt when the first time you played Ocarina. It's like, oh yeah, this is how the game looks. Then you actually go back and look at the original, and you're like, holy shit, they improved it a lot. So things like that, So maybe you didn't have that much problem doing the Water Temple back when you were young.
I think I did. I remember hating it, and it took a lot longer than it did than any of the other dungeons. I remember that.
But if I went back to it now, I would get stuck. But this new 3D remake would help me a lot. I don't know. Or maybe I'll just do it first time as I did originally. Haha.
Yeah, I think my sister actually got stuck and gave up on Zelda Ocarina of Time because of the Water Temple. I can't remember. I think she gave up at that point. Sad days.
Yeah. Well, there's so many like weird, like just obtuse things in Ocarina you don't even realize. Like right at the beginning of the game, you have to like do weird things with cocos and eggs and stuff and just give them to random people. It's like, and that's to progress the whole game and stuff.
All that stuff's still there. I mean, by and large, all that stuff's still there. And, I mean, the game does look better graphically, but I mean, well, first of all, this is a game that came out in 2011 on 3DS. So the type of stuff that you might see now on the system is not going to be, it doesn't really match up quite as much, but I mean, it's still a pretty damn good looking game. With this being a pretty faithful remake, they didn't bother, but not when that's kind of a negative way to say it. They didn't go around and, for like other like NPC character models and stuff, they're really kind of low poly and still look very N64-ish. That's a big
as
thing.
they should. They got to look
Yeah,
as
and-
ugly as possible.
They could have made it look better. But and, in general, like textures and stuff like that, or they look a lot better. But you can still see the groundwork from the N64 still there.
Actually, try looking at the kids in Twilight Princess. Actually,
No.
when Cyrus gets around to playing the HD version, he can say,
No, I'm
if
gonna
they
get
improved
my
it.
girlfriend to hold up sensor bars over their faces because they're terrifying.
Yep. Ugliest kids you'll ever see.
I guess I didn't notice back in the day. Huh.
The kid who runs the store, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I could never figure out if that was a baby or a goblin or what
Exactly.
it was.
Goblin.
You're like, kill it with fire. Wait a minute, should I be killing it with fire? Is this a child? I'm confused.
I was gonna say, by the way, just a side note, James, on the last podcast, you mentioned about something about Mario looking like a dwarf. And anytime anybody ever mentions dwarves on here again, Gimli drops are going to be going into the
Yeah,
the podcast version. So, yeah, be prepared. Anyways, so yeah, Ocarina of Time 3D.
off the bone.
That's him getting out of the snow.
Because he's got my axe in his head.
Yeah, and it's embedded in his nervous system. You nerd. Anyway, Ocarina of Time 3D. No dwarves, no creepy children selling you things, so no worries there. But no, I really enjoyed kind of going back and finally actually getting through this and seeing all of the kind of improvements that they did in the game, not just visually, but just with things like the water temple and stuff too.
Did you beat Ganon with the wooden stick, like all the speedrunners do?
Oh, of course, absolutely.
Good.
No.
I do love that they kept in the weird bugs like those. Like, that's cool that they didn't erase those things.
You can beat Ganon with like a fishing rod or something.
Yeah, an empty bottle, fishing rods, wooden stick. There's a bunch of stuff.
Yes,
The speedruns on that game are amazing. Like, you can skip like 90% of the game. It's amazing.
Right. I wasn't that. I didn't want to do that. But
No.
yeah.
These are guys who that's all they do in their whole lives is
Right.
just play Ocarina.
I mean, I'm lucky just to get through it normally, But
Have you seen the credits? Or
Yeah.
You said you're in. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I beat the game years ago and stuff too. And this might be like my third or fourth time actually going through the game in its entirety.
No, I mean in the 3D version, this new one.
No, this is the first time I hadn't beaten it, man.
Okay.
So, and it unlocks, the Master Quest version, which you would have just thought they would have just had that available from the beginning.
You have to pay $20 extra for it.
Yes, DLC.
DLC.
So that's been pretty much it for me. I've also been playing a little bit more of Box Boy, the second one, Box Boy. I actually just beat that. Maybe move on to the third one, or maybe just something completely different. I don't know. But yeah, that's going to pretty much do it for me. So next up, Ty.
Yeah.
Would you mind going next with New Biz?
Sure. All right. So I'm only going to talk about 2 games here.
Okay.
And first up, we have Crypta the Necrodancer. Holy shit, this game. It's amazing. It's
Crypt Keeper.
It's well, as you may have guessed, it's a dungeon crawler. That's also a rhythm game. Right?
Yeah, I have it in my Steam library waiting to go.
Oh,
Wow.
Necro Dancer. Right. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Shit is real. Yeah, I swear I had this idea for a game like many years ago in my head. And
They were listening.
yeah, they were listening.
Toilet
I
Kids.
wasn't wearing my tinfoil, and this is what happened.
Yes.
Toilet Kids. Yeah. That's something I imagined when I was young.
Okay, so the way you play this game is, it drops you in these randomly generated dungeons and they're all like, everything is square tiles. It looks like a 16-bit game.
Is it a Connect game?
No,
Okay. Just asking. Well, it's a dance game. You never know.
no, you play this with very digital controls.
Just like
D-pad
Connect.
play. Yeah.
Like, you
So-
could technically play this in a dance pad, like a DDR dance pad.
Yeah, but this game gets crazy hard. So the way it plays is it drops you in a randomly generated dungeon, and you have to, kill the enemies like these bats and stuff, and these skeletons with these cute little dance animations, and various enemies that behave in different ways, and everything is like randomly placed, and there's a lot of various random items. So you basically try to get through like 3 floors at a time, or 4, 3 floors at a time, and then you fight a random boss, and then once you're competent at the game, you go through like all 4 areas in one playthrough. So you go basically through like 16 levels at a time. And you have to be very careful about managing your items and stuff. And you can like fuck up and get destroyed instantly. Like it's not forgiving. Like it's a dungeon crawler. You die and you have to start over from the very beginning.
How does the rhythm stuff come into it?
It depends on which character you pick. If you're picking like the standard character that you play through the first time, all the enemies move to the rhythm, and you have to move to the rhythm too to keep your gold multiplier up, because enemies drop gold, and you need gold to go to the shops and get stuff. There's like a shop on every floor, and the general strategy is go to the shop, hope they have some good items for you, then get to the exit. But there are other characters, like there's an extremely advanced character where if you don't keep the rhythm, you die instantly. So yeah, it's not a forgiving game. It's said to be, along with some other games, some of the hardest achievements available on the Xbox. But it came out like months or maybe a year ago on PC.
Okay.
So I've been playing this nonstop, and I'm going to continue to play it a lot because it's a breath of fresh air. It's a game that actually tries to kill you, which is something I appreciate. And I was surprised that there's actually some known composers doing the remixes on this game. We got Vert and we got A Rival. I don't know if you heard of those guys. I think
absolutely not.
Out of everybody, I figured Cyrus might have known, but
when you said Fertz, I thought you just broken wind.
No, Vert. That's Jake Kaufman, right? I think he's credited as Vert. But
Nothing
go with that as a working theory,
right? He did Shovel Knight and Double Dragon Neon.
Oh, that dude, he's cool.
Yeah, and many other amazing songs. Yeah, I did remixes. Now the other guy I noticed is A Rival. He does a lot of live show stuff, like at MagFest, and I've seen him in person. I met him many years ago, and like he did these really danced up chiptune remixes in the game. So that's fun too. And then there's also like a metal version. So based on which character you pick, yeah. And I was gonna say there's a boss that sings exactly like you did just now.
Yeah, it was me.
Right. Oh, let me tell you about my favorite boss, which is King Konga. Right. You enter the boss room, and there's like these 2 rows of zombies doing a conga line, like at you, gradually. And then
usually
King Konga is this gorilla with a crown, like playing these bongos. And like if you
it's a Donkey Konga reference.
Sure. And and if you mess up the rhythm, he's gonna come after you. Or so you want to try to clear all the enemies without messing up, so you can fight them one-on-one, which is much easier. And since it's like a conga thing, you have to freeze like every 8th note, so it'll kind of throw you off. It's fun. It's so fun. It's amazing.
Yeah, like this game sounds like it was made for me. That I've never gotten around to it, but I really want to play it.
Yeah, play it later so we can discuss it at length.
Has anyone played Donkey Konga?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm amazing at it.
Briefly, I never actually bought it.
That should totally be an arcade game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Taiko no Tatsujin with
When we had to do like open days for my university back in when I was in Ireland, I used to like have a demo stand with Donkey Konga for the game design course that I was in, and I'd challenge all the high school students to Donkey Konga fights.
Did you tell them that you designed the game?
Yes, I said I made it in my spare time between Mario Kart and Sonic.
There. Nice.
I changed my name from Nintendo to Delaney when I got married.
Yeah, when one event I was staffing like the Plough Festival in Ireland because that's a thing in Ireland, and we had like the video game design booth, which obviously did not get a ton of traffic at Ploughfest.
Ploughfest.
Look it up, Ploughfest, real thing, biggest Plough Festival in Ireland.
Wow.
And a bunch of kids came in and they were asking, like, "Oh, so did you make the Sonic?" And I'm like, and like after a while, you stop denying it and just like, "Yeah, I made the Sonic. That was me."
I would never stop denying that I didn't make Sonic. Did he make Sonic? No, I fucking didn't make Sonic. All right, keep walking, jog on.
Okay, so you're gonna hear about that game more in the future.
Okay.
And the other thing I've been playing is this quote mobile game, Fallout Shelter. You might remember this from
right. Yeah.
E3.
Ty plays mobile games. Alert.
No, actually, it's a trick. It came out on Xbox One. So I'm playing it.
That is just sad, Ty. That is.
Yeah.
So
there are barrels that you can scrape, and Fallout is like tossed aside outside that barrel.
So do you have to use like Connect to touch the screen where you want
No,
to
I
touch?
just use the controller. I don't think it works with the Kinect. Maybe it does, but
So
I
you're
don't.
moving a cursor around or something like that?
Yeah, like right stick will scroll the whole screen, left stick will scroll your cursor.
Oh my god.
So I'm just playing this at a few minutes at a time in between rounds of Necrodancer.
Whew.
Like
To stop playing briefly long enough to dry your eyes from all the tears of sad loneliness playing mobile games on your Xbox One.
right.
I thought like PlayStation 4 was the console getting all the mobile games ported over to it. But I guess no. I guess Ty, you've mentioned like you've played some garbage games for like achievement points or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I guess everyone's getting it. God. There's a good chance that a lot of that shit could come to Switch because it's basically a tablet, isn't it?
Oh, we got at least one we're going to be talking about today.
Uh-oh.
Home console first, bro.
Uh-oh. But I am having fun. You actually play it very actively. It's almost like an APM tester. I don't know if I've forced myself into playing that way because of the way I've managed or mismanaged my vault. Which is what you do. You build this little human ant farm and make them do all the little chores.
Does it affect your Fallout 4 game in any way?
I don't think so. Maybe there's a reward that carries over, but I kind of don't think so since, Fallout 4 came out like a year ago and this came out just now. Yeah, the mobile game never had anything that carried over.
Oh, this is not the mobile game. I thought you said it was.
It's the same game. It's just the Xbox One / Windows 10 version. I don't think there's anything that carries over. I could be wrong, but I don't think so.
I would say there's more chance of it carrying stuff over if it came out afterwards, right?
Yeah. Now that you mention that, I'm gonna look into that, but I'm thinking no.
Okay.
But I am weirdly enjoying it. My favorite thing is.
Let me guess, trapping people in a room and killing them.
No.
Okay.
Every few minutes, the mysterious stranger appears somewhere in your vault, and there's a sound cue, and you basically play Where's Waldo for like 15 seconds.
Say 15 minutes. Like, God.
Yeah.
Does he like kill people or something if you don't find him?
No, but he gives you a potentially big fat reward if you do find him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I've been interested in this game though, man. Like I haven't, it wouldn't be that big of a deal just to download it, but I don't know.
Is it a free download?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe it's free.
Is it free on Xbox as well?
Yes,
Cool.
that's why I got it.
Cheap at twice the price.
Yeah. So, in playing these two games, I discovered an interesting feature of the Xbox One. If you play these games that take very few resources, you can actually just switch back and forth between them without closing either game.
Huh.
Oh, isn't that the feature that's going to be removed from the console soon?
No, I think the feature they said they're going to remove is like the sidebar thing.
Okay.
Where, God, what is it actually called?
Pinning or something? Pins? No.
No, it's
basically all the shit they promised. Xbox was going to be all about. They're just going to take it out because it's too slow or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what they're going to do. Like, the only thing I pin is like achievements, but I've kind of switched to looking at those on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
And that they're not going to lose the streaming for sure.
Right.
So I'm not sure exactly what their plan is. Maybe they just looked and said, "Hey, nobody's using this."
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, you got to hand it to Microsoft. I mean, if they're seeing something like that, hey, nobody's using this feature, and or it's maybe bogging down the user experience. Let's just get rid of this shit. It's like, right. I don't know. Nintendo's gotten a lot better about stuff, especially, I would say, okay, you're going to laugh, but I mean, they've gotten a lot better even with the Wii U. I mean, think about when it first came out, about how slow and like how so many things were just running not well. And now, I mean, they got the quick launch menu. You can get in your game like really quickly or whatever, It's pretty amazing how far they've come, but there's still a lot more that they could do.
It's funny, like, I don't know if we ever talked about it on the show, but there was like a video, I don't know if it was a leak, but somebody showed like putting in a Zelda Breath of the Wild cartridge and then loading up the Switch. Mm-hmm. And some website ran the headline like Switch takes over 20 seconds to load.
Right.
Like in a negative sense, in a negative tone.
Yeah.
And then people are like, "Oh man, that's fucking bullshit." And then anyone who stopped and paused and thought about it for like 2 seconds were like, "Wait a minute, that's the fastest loading console of all time."
Right.
Like,
I mean,
that's such a stupid thing. It's like 20 seconds. Like try loading up a PS4 or an Xbox in 20 seconds. Like from off to game. Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, I think I was in on that thread too, man. Like, and I was just thinking about a game like Madden. Like, I know, whatever, we're in Japan, sports games doesn't matter. But just as an example, like,
you've got to bring it up every episode, haven't you?
Yes, I have for like this whole calendar year so far, 2017. I think I've made a mention of Madden.
It's like a drinking game, Famicast drinking game.
Yes, I'll keep saying it throughout the episode.
Bingo.
Bottoms up. No, but whenever you start up the game, even if you're coming from like sleep mode, you load up the game. It goes through its loading progression. Then it shows like a title screen, and then you have to press A. Oh, we got to connect to the EA servers. We got to do all this crazy stuff, and it takes like probably from the moment you're turning on your PS4 to actually the time when you can actually start navigating through menus, let alone like loading to play up the fucking game. Actually, I mean that's at least like 2 minutes, maybe more than that. If you want to load up a game, that's going to be another probably 30 to 45 seconds a minute on top of that too. So yeah, that's good.
Yeah, good. It's good. I mean, with the Wii U, like you power it on and immediately you get the quick menu, don't you? And then it's got the last 10 games you played or whatever. And if it's a non-disc game, unfortunately, like I'm playing a non-disc game, I'll talk about it in a minute. Unfortunately, it does the disc does spin up, and then when it loads the game that you want to play, then the disc will stop spinning. But even that, the whole process is very, very quick. I mean, it's less than a minute to play a game, which is a big improvement from when you have to go to the home menu and then load the game. You're cutting out good 20, 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that. So yeah, Switch should be even faster because there's never going to be any spinning whatsoever. So
sorry to hijack stuff from you, Ty.
Oh, this is Ty's new business, right?
Yeah. Rest in peace. Well, I was pretty much done anyway. I remembered one other game I played. I played King of Fighters 14 for the first time.
Okay.
14.
No, I still haven't played
2014.
that one.
Yeah, because I don't own a PS4 and I've been trying not to buy one. If I buy one, I'm definitely going to buy King of Fighters 14 because it's really good and fun.
Wait, how did you play it without a PS4?
It was at an event I was at on Sunday. It was like a
Okay.
like a casual sort of fighting game get together with multiple games at a esports square in Akihabara.
Yeah, I really wanted to go to that one, but alas, 'twas not meant to be.
Yeah, it was fun. I played some Killer Instinct with the boys and got a chance to try out some King of Fighters on the side. I love the absurd characters they have. Okay, there's a character that's just like a straight up knockoff, a Kari Pami Pamu.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
I'm
amazing.
out.
Like if I ever get that game, 1000% she is my main character because it's
Jesus
just you're just
Christ.
playing as Kara Pamu Pamu.
Right. Well, no, you got to pick 3 characters. So I'll pick her, and I'll pick like the dark hooded edgelord guy, and the last spot is up for grabs. Maybe I'll pick Mayan or gigantic boobs. like it's like a team perfectly configured to make someone mad. I think like why would I lose to these bullshit characters?
Cyrus, you don't have a PS4, right?
No, I do not.
So you will not be playing it, and Ty doesn't have one, so thank God.
right.
We won't be hearing about that anytime soon.
So I've been thinking about buying a game on my PS4, guys.
Fuck you.
Yeah,
Her name is actually Sylvie Paula.
Oh,
Like-
God.
it's like really blatant.
Not even trying. Not
And
even
her
trying.
outfit is absurd. What's the name of the edgelord guy?
Oh, I don't know. Is that Sand Dude? Whatever.
Right, with the sand.
The sand dude.
Yeah, he has
Mumra.
moves with sand, and he has an amazing backwards dash where he kind of shifts away. And I don't know. I just want to like play him and then like sail out Reaper's lines from Overwatch.
Yeah, that seems to be Ty's MO character is play as the
Psychopath.
edgelord character.
Right,
Next.
holding out for a PC release.
Cool.
All right, well, Ty, if that's all you got, James, how about you go
Yeah.
ahead and close us out for new business?
Finally.
Finally.
Yes, there you go.
So yeah, just before this, we went live on this episode. I've been trying to get Yoshi's Woolly World done because, well, it's not like I promised I'd complete it before this episode,
I'm
but
pretty
I
sure you
tried,
did.
I tried my best anyway. I'm actually on the last level. Yes, it's kind of a puzzly level, and it took longer than I thought, so I'd had to just stop and come and record this shit instead of playing it. Thanks, guys. No, it's good. It's good times. I think one thing that like surprised, like I didn't mention before, but like what surprised me about this game is that how long the levels are. I mean, Danny, did you think that like compared to like I don't know 3D World, which you know it's like the world map is kind of very similar to 3D World. It's like a, you know, it's a singular level progression, but it's like a 3D angle.
Right. Yeah, I mean, at times it did seem like, wow, this is going on quite a long time. I can't take a break, you know, or like that type of thing.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, you got like, I mean, I think I said the same thing about Tropical Freeze now I think about it. But like, yeah, both Tropical Freeze and this, like the levels last much longer than you expect. You know, they'll have at least 2 save points.
Right.
So I guess that's why I thought, oh, okay, you know, I could, there's probably not going to be much left of this. You know, there's 6 worlds. I mean, I'm on the last level of the 6th world now. But like, yeah, I was like, yeah, I couldn't even do like one world in a night. You know, I know when I say a night for me, that's only like a couple of hours. You know?
Right. Sure.
Like 10 o'clock till midnight or whenever I fall asleep. But like, you know, that's a lot of levels to get through. You know, you've got like 8 levels per world, but each level takes, you know, a good like 10, 15 minutes. You know, you'd be lucky to get through a whole world in one night. So, and I think the last time I talked about it, I was on like world 3. So
Right. Yeah. Pretty early on. Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, we've had the, you know, the obligatory snow level, snow world and stuff like that. But just the aesthetic, you know, like it's all like materials and stuff. So like the snow is cotton, and like certain snowy covered things are like white lace and stuff like that. It just looks, it gives a whole different look to it. It's really amazing. Other things I didn't mention, like the badges system is kind of interesting. I mean, I didn't really use it that much, but like they basically what it lets you do is you can kind of like give yourself items or give you some special ability for that level. I mean, there's even an option to like skip the level. I don't understand why that's a thing. Maybe if you what's that?
Baby mode.
Basically, I don't know, but like, yeah. Well, I guess some of the new Super Mario games had that as well. Like if you died like 10 times, they let you skip it or something like that, right?
Shameful.
Yeah.
Absolutely disgusting.
Yeah. And I think they're still doing that. Oh, actually, Tropical Freeze didn't have that, I don't think. Definitely the first Donkey Kong Returns did have that, like the silver Donkey Kong that like did the level for you or something like that.
Oh, okay.
But after like World 3, I think it's World 3 or 4, like this adorable character called Poochie.
God, I love that. I'm so tempted to get the amiibo, but I must be strong.
No, you must not. You must give in. And at the same time, buy all the Yarn Yoshi amiibo as well.
Poochie that's the 3DS version. Don't get the 3DS version. That's trash.
No, it looks ugly as sin.
I mean, it just takes away the whole point. Oh, yeah, I guess the last time I talked about this game, you weren't on the episode, Cyrus. But I think you would like this game. The Wii U version, not the godforsaken 3DS version.
This and Kirby, I'm so tempted to pick up just because they look so nice.
They do look
beautiful
really
games.
Well, I got that Kirby. I can't tell you how it plays or looks because I haven't even played it yet.
So yeah, Poochie, like he's only on like a couple of levels, but like after you like I guess unlock him, you can get like a Poochie badge, and you can actually pay like using the gems that you collect in the stage. You can actually have him on any stage. So basically, you stand on his back, and whatever direction you're facing, he'll run. And if he gets to a wall, he'll jump up high. So you can like jump when he jumps at the peak of his jump. If you jump, you can get to like really high places. And he'll kill all enemies, and he'll go in little spaces and collect stuff for you. It's quite cute actually, because he doesn't actually just touch it and you get it. He actually grabs it in his mouth, and he brings it back to you, and then drops it at your feet, kind of thing.
He's about to die.
He'll be okay.
But yeah, Poochie, he was in like the old Yoshi's Island game too, wasn't he? And I loved him there too. So when I saw the Yarn version, it was like, oh my god, he's even better somehow.
He is.
And James, you mentioned about the bad system too. It's like when I was playing through the game, I thought about using that stuff, but then I was like, this game isn't that hard.
No, you don't need them. I think it's only to like, I mean, if you were to use them, I think it'd be quite fun to like go back on like levels you've already done, and then use ones like the you can have like infinite watermelon seeds and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. It'd be quite fun, like those levels that are covered in that destroyable material. Right, to go back with like infinite watermelon seeds, that'd be quite fun. Yeah. Maybe just to unlock the last little bits of secrets and stuff like that.
And I mean, I think that this is one of the Nintendo games. I mean, Nintendo's been doing a pretty good job with this lately. I feel that it strikes a balance where it's challenging enough, but if they're like this is a little kid or something playing the game, they still have like these options so that kids could even enjoy it, even if they're terrible at video games and therefore life.
Yeah, it is challenging. It does get some really hard levels later on, and I like the mixture of like puzzle levels. They'll stop and have like a puzzle level where you've got to explore and stuff like that. I mean, like I said, this last level is like that, using things that have never been done in a Yoshi game before. It's very, very clever. And they really make you look everywhere in the level for these like things that you got to get. It's kind of amazing. And obviously my favorite feature, off TV play, and well, not really off TV play, but like off TV sound is there, and it works perfectly, which Tropical Freeze didn't have, which was really annoying. This does have it, no problem whatsoever there. I don't think there's any second screen functionality at all now I think about it. I think it's just literally a mirrored
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, I think it's just a mirror. You just put it to the side. You just ignore that, just for the sound. And it supports every single controller. I mean, when I tweeted that I was playing this, like Don Koopman, the Flying Dutchman, he recommended that I use the Wii remote because it's got like tilt control, so you can
right.
But I tried that and I really didn't like it, like because you got to press A to ready your eggs. So you're like using the D-pad to control, and then A if you think of where A is on the Wii remote, and then you tilt, and then you release, and then the egg. It's like, so I guess for accuracy, it makes sense. And also it makes you think, why isn't the second, like I'm using the Pro controller, why isn't the second stick just like aim eggs? It really makes you think, like, why didn't they do that? It's really annoying because like aiming is, you can aim straight up, like on the left stick, but right stick doesn't do anything. Right. So you think like this would make perfect sense for like dual analog, I guess. You dual analog Yoshi controls.
Yeah, I mean, they threw every other controller option in there. It would have been nice if they would have done something like that too, right? Because I mean, sometimes, you know, whenever you're trying to throw the eggs, because I was just playing primarily on the gamepad, like the Wii, you know, with the screen and everything. But that would, when you got to sections where you had to actually throw the eggs, it kind of bogged down a little bit because you had to kind of sit and wait for it to get the angle that you want. I mean, it would have been a lot nicer if you could add a little.
I'm using hasty controls where you hold down the button, and when you release the button, it shoots the egg, which speeds it up slightly. But yeah, you still got to aim it, like you said, and you can lock it into place and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would probably recommend the Pro or the regular gamepad for that. The other like minor quibble is Miiverse. I mean, it has similar Miiverse to Mario Maker, which I think Mario Maker's got great Miiverse support. Like when you start the level, or I think it's when you complete the level, they'll have just like some scrolling Miiverse posts about the stage, and you know, just like pictures and just everything that people have done about that. It's like, you know, this is awesome, like. And they'll have like recommended stages to play similar to that or whatever. So Yoshi has kind of like that. They've got Miiverse posts about that stage, but they're all really shit. It's just like people have used the stamps to make some shitty picture. And it's like just Yoshi with a ball of yarn next to him. And you're like, okay. And then
do that and you'll beat this level.
Yeah, okay, thanks for the tip, asshole. But then you'll get these really weird random ones like, this level is fucking hard. It's just like,
that's awesome.
Where this guy come from? It's like all these cute little baby pictures, you know, like, you know, you can tell like a 6-year-old has drawn it, and then it's like, you know, fuck this stage, bitch. You know, somebody's written in their handwriting. You're like, okay. So I guess this level's hard. Yeah, so you don't really get the tips. Or like, you know, another thing in Mario Maker people do is give you little tips, you know, like if a level you have to use a certain technique, like, you know, there's some techniques in Mario World that, you know, most people don't know how to do, you know, like involving, you know, juggling items and stuff like that. So most people would actually draw like a little tip for like that. You don't get any of that in Yoshi. The Miiverse community is just like, yeah, just dicking around with pictures or just swearing, I mean, neither of which is useful.
Yeah, I mean, before going into do this episode and stuff, I was going through some Miiverse communities just to get like some screenshots for, I think, our Twitter post, and like I looked at the 1080 one, at least the Japanese one, and like I think there's only a total of like about 10 posts or something like that, and the game came out like last year. Yeah. But this is like, because, you know, it's all kind of broken down. I wasn't looking through like the drawings and stuff. I was just looking through like the play journals and stuff. But
okay,
yeah, it's kind of disappointing. Some communities are really small, but then, like you said, sometimes
I
it's
hope you're doing that on your computer, not on the actual Wii U.
Yeah, no, God, come on.
Good.
Yeah,
but like, never use Miiverse on your Nintendo system.
Yeah, basically, well, especially not 3DS.
I really hope Splatoon 2 on the Switch figures out some way to kind of replace the Miiverse implementation they did. Because Splatoon's Miiverse stuff was fantastic, where it was like all the pictures people drew became graffiti in the levels or popped up over their heads when you met them in the plaza. Like, that was a cool use of it.
Right, I think they might have just like an in-game thing, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, if they do, I really hope they do something, because that'll be fine with me. I'd be totally cool with that.
Yeah, I could see that. So yeah, I think that's everything I wanted to say on Yoshi. I think that's all I'll talk about it. Like, yeah, I'll probably complete the level, after recording this episode, and then, and yeah, overall impressions, very impressed. This is the sequel to Yoshi's Island that I've been waiting for whatever it is, 24 years, 25 years. And if you liked Yoshi's Island, I can't recommend this enough. It's just fantastic. Looks amazing, plays amazing, and loads of content. I mean, I haven't even begun to unlock the secret worlds in each state, secret stages in each world. I mean, that's another that's another 6 levels that I haven't even seen yet. Which I don't know if I'll get around to. I mean, I think I've talked about this in various long games that I've played. I'm happy to see the credits. I'm not really in that kind of go back and try and 100% it. Those days are gone for me. It's just that's my life right now. I ain't 18 anymore.
Sure.
So yeah, and then I guess this is kind of a pattern with this episode, is talking about a real game and then a mobile game. No, I guess Danny didn't do that. You didn't play any mobile games, did you?
I did, but I didn't talk about
Madden.
Well, sure.
So Pokemon Go. I mean, we probably got this in news, right? Yes. Looking ahead, yes, we do have this in news. But yeah, got back in. I mean, haven't really stopped playing Pokemon Go because my son is still into it. And when I heard about this Generation 2 update, had a look, and yeah, immediately upon loading it up, I was immediately greeted by like 4 new Pokemon, in my house that I'd never seen before. And when I say never seen before, not like I hadn't seen it in the game before. I mean, literally, I have no idea what these Pokemon are because I'm a red and blue guy. I played Pokemon Blue, played the shit out of it, memorized all the Pokemon names, but haven't played a Pokemon game since. So I don't know any of these guys. I mean, I think
that's kind of cool to go into a game like that.
I think Meryl, the blue mousy looking one, I've seen that one around because I think that's just it's just such a popular character that you just see it in general, in kids' books and stuff like that.
Wasn't Meryl an item in one of the Smash Brothers games?
Yeah,
like
probably something like
across
that.
the stage or something like
yeah,
that.
actually, no, yeah, that's a good point, Ty. If it's been in Smash Brothers, I've probably seen it. I probably know it. Chikorita, that's another one I knew. But like,
otherwise known as the best starter of that set.
Oh, that's the starter Pokemon. Didn't even know that. So yeah, me and my son went out to the arcade, the game center, and which has free Wi-Fi now, and we got like 11 new Pokemon in one day. It was amazing. Like, and I hadn't heard of any of them, and my son was like over the moon. He's like, oh my god, this one looks like a teddy bear, and this one looks like a squirrel. Is like he was going apeshit. He was well impressed. So yeah, he's happy to have like new Pokemon. I mean, because I don't think we'd actually got a new Pokemon, like one that we'd never seen before in a long time. Like it was more like just getting ones we already had and evolving them. And we actually had like 24 Eevees, and I got another Eevee, and then we could immediately evolve that into one of the new the black Eevee. I'm sorry, I don't know what it's called. Thank you. Which you can do by changing the name of it to
I love
Sakura.
that little Easter egg. That's like a really cool one. Taking the names of the Pokemon from the anime. Like,
oh, is it? Is that right? Okay, it's Sakura and something else.
I can't remember, but in the anime they meet 2 trainers that have the psychic and the dark one.
Oh, Tamao, I think it's called.
Yeah. That's their nicknames in the show, which is like deep lore for such a random thing.
Didn't know that. So yeah, I asked my son, is like, what color Pokemon, what color Eevee do you want to change them into? And so yeah, we looked up on a wiki, and changed them into the black one. So yeah, it's nice to finally have some new content. I mean, there's some new fruit, and you can now, I don't know if you could do this before, Cyrus, like buy clothes with actual money.
I had never heard of this until I saw you post about it on Twitter. I stopped playing a long time ago.
Oh, you stopped playing a long time ago. Okay, well, I'd never seen this before because I haven't changed my guy's costume since I, made the initial profile, dude. So, but I went on it because they said they'd added new stuff. So I went to it, and it was like sunglasses and a jacket and stuff. But it was like 200 coins, which is real money. That's like $3 or whatever. So fuck that. My son was like, "Oh, sunglasses, they're cool. Let's buy those." I'm like, "Nope, that's real money, son. Get working if you want to buy that."
Exactly.
He's 5 years old.
He should start working.
So yeah, exactly. That's what I told him. Coal mine, get down there, get some money. So yeah, Pokemon Go, it's back. And there was that brief, terrible Valentine's Day week where loads of pink Pokemon came out.
Did you get your Chansey?
Yes, I think we did. I think we got a Chansey. Yes. But I didn't, other than getting extra candy and a few extra pink Pokemon hanging around, there wasn't really much to it. And it's already ended, so kind of crappy.
Sounds like Valentine's Day.
Happy Love Day, everyone. So yeah, That is the end of new business. Thank you for listening.
Sweet.
And the episode. See you next week.
Yeah, good night, everybody.
Oh, wait, we're not done just yet. So actually, we got
there's more.
There is more, a lot more. So let's go ahead and just kick off the news, and let's just go ahead and throw this first bit out there because I think this is something that's kind of still fresh in everybody's minds. They didn't actually technically say DLC, but basically it is DLC. The Zelda expansion pack for The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild has been announced. Yeah, this is something
I like the term expansion pack. It really brings me back to the 90s.
But at the same
4 megabytes of it.
Right? Megabytes. No, it comes on a CD. It's like a DLC, but it's a CD.
Yes. Well, at the same time, I was double checking the Japanese price for this, and like on the Japanese version of the Zelda website, I haven't checked any of the English versions, so it might say the same thing. So please forgive me if it does. But it says like DLC there, and I'm wondering if it says that on the English versions. Maybe you guys out there listening, or maybe listeners, you can let us know. Or
so
one of you guys can.
It's 2,500 yen in Japan.
Yes,
but $20.
$20.
20
US,
euros.
19, about 20 euros and 17, about 18 pounds. Looks like.
It's funny. It's good that you've got the. These are the official prices, right?
Well, it should be like $19.99 or whatever. Yeah.
No, but I was looking at prices for the Switch and Zelda in the UK and Japan, like seeing which one works out cheaper. I like the Switch. I think the Switch is 280 squids, which works out to like 38,000 yen. So it's actually way more expensive. Like, this is a very weird time to be in. Like, all the prices in the UK are just like astronomically more than in Japan. So it's actually just cheaper to buy everything in Japan. I mean, unfortunately, I will have to buy Zelda from the UK because I want the English version. But because the prices kind of drop, not really drop, but like they've got more offers on the game Zelda in England, that their price actually works out almost exactly the same as Japan.
Okay.
But in Japan, you might have some places. Danny, have you found anywhere that's got like a few thousand yen off the official price? Or
I've seen it for other games. I think Zelda's already pretty standard price.
6,
Nothing.
Is it 6,800 for the game?
Like 6,200 or something like that. Maybe plus tax. So I don't really remember.
But yeah, like the Pro controller was like like maybe 5,000-6,000 yen more in the UK. Like, worked out to be way more. So yeah, I'll be happy to get everything here in Japan except certain games.
Sure.
Yeah.
But
just to clear up, it says players will be able to purchase an expansion pass for $20, granting access to 2 new sets of downloadable content. So it doesn't specifically say DLC anywhere on the website. It just says downloadable content and expansion pass.
Okay. Well, I guess just a little bit about what this stuff is too. So the first part that's going to be coming out, I believe, day and date with the game.
The worst bit is what starts. Yeah.
It unlocks 3 treasure chests that are going to be located somewhere on the Great Plateau. Okay.
Well, I think they just land right in front of your face, don't they? Like when you touch the amiibo, it just goes boom right in front of you.
We'll see.
Yeah, I was confused about the wording on this too. Does it mean they're hidden somewhere, or do they just like fall out of the sky like the amiibo stuff?
Yeah, I think it'll just fall out of the sky like it does with the amiibo.
But how would that work if you already pre-bought it and you load up the game for the first time and all your stuff's already bought? Just lands on top of Link's head as soon as he goes outside.
A Mountain Dew logo will just appear in front of you and it'll just go boom right in front.
Okay.
Wakes up from cryostasis wearing that Switch shirt.
Yes, well, actually, speaking of the Switch shirt, yes, that's part of the second part coming this summer. A hard mode's going to be added as well, additional map features.
I think it was like an additional hard mode, because I think probably you're going to get a hard mode, but this is like, I don't know, extra hard or something. Or something else different.
We'll see. And there's a new challenge area, Cave of Trials, that's going to be added as well. The third and final part's coming before the end of the year, and it's going to include new dungeons, some kind of story elements, and some other additional challenges as well.
That could be exciting. The additional story thing. I mean, I had this crazy idea that you might be able to play as Zelda, because like
you already do.
That's what the game is called. Jeez, keep up.
Right. But how cool would that be? Like if. I mean, Aonuma, when he might have like finally come to his senses, but it would have been too late because he's like, he'd already finished the game or finished the story for the game by then, when people started talking to him and saying, so can we play as like a female Link in this game? And he's like, oh, Triforce, maybe, too
only if she's a wolf, whatever.
But, they in another interview that about this, they've said that they are actually still working on this additional story content. So unlike other, publishers who might just take out shit and then add it later, make you pay for it, Capcom. This is actually, they are actually honestly not finished this part of the content yet. So, I mean, same with Mario Kart, right? They announced the Mario Kart DLC, but they hadn't actually finished any of the stages,
right?
The races. So
I'm hoping that, like the way Mario Kart DLC, it's kind of like all this core Mario Kart stuff is Mario only. It's Mario and friends, but then the DLC was like, hey, let's go nuts. F-Zero, Zelda, whatever,
right.
Animal Crossing. And so I would hope that would make Nintendo more willing to make DLC weird stuff like playing as Zelda or playing as whatever.
I don't want to go Hyrule Warriors mental. I just mean
but I just mean like an additional story where you get to play as
the
characters that are in the game, but from a different perspective. Kind of.
Yeah, you're playing as a boat on the land with legs. Yes. No, I don't want any of that shit. I just maybe it's a part of the main story. Like there's probably going to be a part in the story where you lose Zelda or like she goes off on a different path, right? So maybe you just play as that. What was she doing when Link was doing this? Something like that. That would be cool. It doesn't have to be like a whole new 60-hour campaign, but just whatever, a 5-hour.
They could do it like that Xbox game, The Maw, which is a cool game, and it's like when you buy the base game, you get you go from level 1, then you go to level 2, then you go to level 3, then you skip to level 5, and then you go to level 6. And then after you finish the game, you can buy the DLC that adds in level 4.
They did that with Assassin's Creed 2 also. I didn't even notice, and I was like, what is happening? We're missing a chapter. And they're like, yep, that's coming out as DLC later. And it's like, okay, thank you.
But yeah, this has potential to be exciting. I mean, this additional story mode is coming out just before Christmas. So
yeah, it's like the winter DLC.
Which is good. I mean, who the hell is going to, this is to do everything in this game is going to take a long time, methinks. We're probably looking like 100-hour game here. So you don't want a whole new story next week, do you?
Right.
Do you? Does anyone have any ideas what the additional map features could be?
Nope.
I was
I don't
thinking,
know, maybe like set waypoints or track guardians or whatever. I don't know.
no, that's bullshit. I was thinking maybe something like it adds something interesting to look at. Like maybe it's like viewpoints or something like points to stand, which will give you like the best view or something like that.
Oh,
Or,
so it's Assassin's Creed.
yeah. Or yeah, maybe even like treasure chest locations or something like useful. I don't know, but like that'd be kind of cheating, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it sounds like it's too big of a thing. Like they mentioned additional map features. That sounds like a big thing to put on a list of like DLCs. So hopefully it's something cool. Like
Yeah.
again, I guess I hope all of these things are something cool. But
But
Right.
I don't think it's something like it'll be game breaking or something that should have been in from the start. Nintendo doesn't really do that kind of thing. It'll be something that's like not really necessary to play the game, but like it's something fun. Like that's the photo thing was the only thing I could think of. You know, interesting photo points across the map because it's such a big fucking map. You're gonna miss most of it, right? So it's like, why don't you go here and look in this direction, and you'll see this interesting thing. That kind of thing.
Ty, actually, do you have any thoughts about this stuff? I mean, I know you're Xbox guy and stuff, but I mean, do you buy a lot of DLC?
I buy a so amount of DLC.
Okay, what do you think about like the pricing for this and like how Nintendo's went about talking about it?
I don't know. How big is it really? Like, you're just gonna have to make a value judgment here.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
do you crave $20 worth of Zelda? Is it
Right.
worth $20?
Yeah.
Do you have to pay the
I can't-
$20 now, like up front?
yeah, so you
could-
can't buy the pieces individually. You have to buy all of them as a single $20 block.
But
And you
can
can
I
pay
buy?
that
Can I
later
buy?
or now
in-
or whenever, but you
Oh, okay.
can't get them individually.
Because they might release more information about the DLC in like October, and then you could still splash down the 20 then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's the main problem I have with this is that, like, say with Mario Kart, that had a season pass type thing, but it told you like exactly what you were getting in every part of it. Like,
Right, yeah.
you knew you were getting X number of characters and X number of maps. And even the same with Hyrule Warriors, you knew you were getting characters and maps and in this number at this time.
Didn't it unlock like extra colored Yoshis or something?
Yeah,
Initially
if
as
you
well?
bought it early or if you bought the whole pass, you got
So
extra
this-
little.
This is kind of like that. So the extra colored Yoshi thing is the Switch T-shirt, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which I do not need, so I don't mind waiting until October. Is it, Danny? Is it only the T-shirt that you get immediately?
The T-shirt's one of the things. They didn't. I don't think they said what all the treasure chests actually.
No,
give
just
you.
3 chests, and you don't know what they are.
They could all be the same T-shirt. We don't know.
So yeah, an extra bit of loot. I mean, it's not something that you need to get day one. You don't need to put down $20
Right.
day one on March 3rd for these
I mean,
three.
if you got
things
the
here.
money and you're interested, who cares? I mean, whatever. That's probably me.
I would recommend wait until they do a Nintendo Direct in October and detail exactly what's in this DLC. And if you're interested in it, then put down the 20. But
I would recommend going in blind, just throwing down $40, buying 2 of the things.
Just get all the amiibo, buy that collector's edition, put down the full $350 to get the maximum
Right.
Zelda exposure here.
Yes.
Or you could listen to these idiots and do that.
Yeah, but just in regards to like DLC, I looked at something like Star Wars Battlefront. Like when that came out, the game, it's a $60 game, and you have to have, if you're playing on PlayStation, you have to have PlayStation Plus to be able to play. And then if you wanted to get this DLC season pass thing, it was like $50, and they weren't really forthcoming at the time about like what it was going to be. I mean, at the time it was like right before episode 7, so like, okay, here's some stuff for that, and there's going to be other stuff we're going to be releasing later, yay! And you didn't really know what was going to be, but I'm so glad I didn't plunk down the money then, because I found it's all of the DLC for like 800 yen, like Japanese yen. I think it was like 7,000 yen, and I somehow found it on some crazy sale over winter
So
vacation.
Danny, you're the only. I think you're the only guy who's going to get the Switch and Zelda at launch. So, what are you going to do?
I'll probably get it. I think I got the extra money to be able to pay for it. So, just get it out of the way because I'm going to get it anyways, probably. So.
Yeah, like when I get a Switch,
so
when I get
you're not
Zelda,
learning. You're not learning from your Battlefield experience.
No, I didn't. No. I didn't pay up front for that.
You benefited from not doing that.
But then again, this is Nintendo.
I am suggesting that you do the same again now.
This is Nintendo. That DLC is never going on sale.
Yeah, it's never going on sale. But you're saying you're going to get it no matter what, so you might as well get it now.
Well, I wasn't planning on that with Star Wars. I only got it because it was $8 for it was like a $50-$60 value for like $8. So
yeah, I'd just rather spread out the money spending a little bit more, because you're spending a lot day one, right? So
yeah,
why add it?
That's an extra $20 for my American bank account. Not a big deal.
Okay.
Next.
Good luck with that.
So yeah, Zelda amiibo functionality has been finally revealed.
Oh, yeah.
Cyrus, do you know more
people are
about
getting
this?
them, right? I've seen photos of American journalists getting them.
So this is where this information came from. Nintendo obviously didn't announce it because why would Nintendo give you information like this? But people went into stores and the amiibo are now on some shelves and the information is on the back of the box. So if you scan any of the Breath of the Wild amiibo, they will each drop like a weapon, or they'll drop a treasure chest with a random weapon that's probably rare, I think is the way they described it. So if you drop like the Link one, he'll give you a rare bow, or if you drop Zelda, you'll get a rare shield, or rare arrows, or rare swords, or whatever. And so this functionality is kind of the same as the other random Zelda ones, where they meat rains from the sky, or fish rains from the sky, or whatever.
Right.
So what I find really bizarre about this is that all of the official Breath of the Wild amiibo are kind of garbage. Like, they just give you random weapons.
That is weird. Yeah.
Whereas the Twilight Princess one gives you a whole new, companion animal.
Right.
It's, really strange that the amiibo, not specifically for this game, is far better than the actual ones.
What does I've got a bog standard Link. What is he going to do anything?
I think that makes meat rain from the sky.
It's raining meat. Hallelujah.
I can't remember exactly what triggers what, but I think Ganon gives you hard mode, or was that when Twilight Princess? I can't remember.
That's Twilight Princess.
Yeah. That's now paid DLC. You can't swipe Ganon for that no more.
Right. We missed a comment from YouTube. Suave551 suggested something that the new map feature could be.
Okay.
Yeah, so he was saying maybe it tells you the ecosystem and attack patterns of enemies. So that's actually kind of a cool thing, that maybe it could turn the map into an
apples
scanning thing or something.
No, it'll tell you where all the apples are.
Oh, that's true. That too. If you're hungry.
If you want meat, this is the meat zone. This is where all the pigs hang out.
It's where Link hangs out, throwing meat up in the air.
This is the red light district. These are where the apples are. Things like that.
Mm-hmm.
If it did make the map into like a Metroid scanner where you have to go around and tag enemies or tag apple trees or whatever.
Right. I want to read about the lore of this apple tree.
Yup. Translate the Hylian writing on this apple tree. It says apple tree.
Exactly.
Right then. So amiibos, and Jesus Christ, that Guardian amiibo, it's like half a meter wide.
Yeah, it's huge, and the arms are posable.
It's like the size of the gamepad. It's like a Wii U gamepad. It's like,
yeah, I'll probably get that one because it's really pretty, and I love the Guardian designs.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Oh, little tidbit of info. Aonuma in an interview said that the Guardians, the whole concept of this Guardian that can just fuck you up immediately, comes from the fact that when he played Zelda 1, the Octoroks, he died on the first Octorok or something like it was so hard for him, the movement patterns and how they they walk and how they attack you was just so hard for him to get to grasp. he was just like scared of this little kind of octopus creature that could just kill you so quickly. Because you've only got 3.
I can make everyone fear it.
So yeah, now he's created like the ultimate Octorok. It's like this massive fucking thing that just destroys you with a laser beam immediately. So he wanted to create that fear again that he had when he played Zelda 1.
That's kind of cool. I like that.
Maybe he's taking it a bit too far though, because fucking hell. Can you actually kill? You can kill.
You
those
can,
guardians,
yeah. And it shows like if you drop the Guardian amiibo, it gives you exploding arrows, which are apparently really good for killing Guardians.
Right. Oh, I think I've seen a few shots of like slow-mo Link jumping in the air and firing one of those. It's pretty cool.
One last thing, it's not on the agenda, but it's so earlier in the chat, Carlo Mazzocco, he mentioned no talking about spoilers for Breath of the Wild storyline. And have any of you seen, and I guess let's not talk about spoilers, but have you seen that new Japanese-only trailer for Breath of the Wild that was apparently riddled with spoilers?
Right. Well,
I
Nintendo
did.
of America tweeted out a picture from it immediately afterwards, which was weird.
Yeah, that was kind of a weird thing. Like, I don't know how well this actually ended up for them, but I guess they, at certain times of day, and they had like on their website, they talked about like, okay, if you want to see this commercial, be sure to be watching this channel at this time of day, and you'll have a chance to see it at one of those points. And I think I was just randomly on a channel that had it, one of them. I don't know. And I was kind of just like watching a little bit, and I was like, oh, I'll just watch this later on YouTube. But I could have swore like somebody like Cheesemeister 3K, guy who like translates a lot on Nintendo Directs and stuff. He said that like these commercials were relegated to being on TV only. And like, as in like, AKA, you're never going to see this outside of Japanese television. But how the hell is that even possible in the day and age of YouTube?
Yeah,
this is Nintendo and the internet. Just smile and nod, and they.
Well, yeah, it won't be available in Nintendo's YouTube channel,
right?
But it'll be available on Nintendo Fan 666 immediately afterwards.
Yeah, whatever. Anyways, yeah, that was interesting. And even after I get Switch and I'll have Zelda and stuff like that, I'm not gonna be throwing out spoilers left and right. So any of you guys out there listening, you don't have to worry about that.
That's what he says now.
Yeah. I mean, with Ocarina of Time today, I mean, hey, I killed Ganon. Oops, spoilers. I mean, you have that type of stuff to look forward to.
What an asshole.
No, we'll keep a tight lid on things. I hate getting spoiled with shit too, so yeah.
It's the same that
spoilers.
What's that?
I'm just gonna like make up bullshit and then say that's what happens.
Yes.
And it's gonna be then we'll like read the angry emails on the next live episode.
There it is.
I mean, we're all good. I mean, Ty, I'm assuming you're never going to be playing Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, that's what makes it extra funny.
So, but like me and Cyrus are going to be playing this like much later on in the year. Probably
like
after
you
Danny's.
said, you're not going to want extra story content as soon as you finish the game. I'll probably be getting that extra story content about when I finish the game.
Right. Yeah, so it'll work out. But like it'll be interesting though, because it's such a big game, but like the way you go about the game, because it's like a Skyrim, Witcher type open world game, like we're not going to have the same stories, are we? Like how we tackle stuff and how we complete dungeon stuff, it's going to be so different from one another.
Ideally.
I'm going straight to the last boss as soon as I boot the game up.
You're going to try and defeat him with a stick.
Yeah, naked. Just fucking naked vegan Zelda run.
Apparently it is possible though, right?
Yep. That's what I've been hearing about, these naked vegan runs all over the place.
It's amazing. So yeah, that'd be cool. So what I mean is like, even though we'll hear how Danny, goes through the game, it's not like it's going to be the same story from when we play it, right? So it'd be kind of interesting to compare notes, when we eventually do get around to playing it.
Right. So I kind of switching gears here a little bit. This isn't really a bit of news, just something I think that you guys should check out there. So Sayonara Hakoboy, the last game in the Box Boy series, there's a review up on Nintendo World Report right now, written by Don Koopman. You should check it out. He tells you about what's different about it and stuff, and not available in the West, only available in Japan right now. So
What score did it get?
Well, you have to go check it out and actually read the review.
TLDR.
So, all right, this next little bit of information here that's on the agenda. This is something that I thought was a thing for a bit because I think the last episode or the one before that, I had went and done this. And
you had? Wow.
Maybe. This is like right now. So My Nintendo user IDs are now available. So be sure to go to the My Nintendo webpage and kind of claim your My Nintendo user ID.
I was so confused by this when I saw this going through the news. I was like, I've already got a Nintendo ID.
Yeah.
It's not a Nintendo ID. It's a Nintendo user ID. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like I like Nintendo's. Like they try to put a Nintendo stamp on everything, to make it Nintendo. But they're running out of permutations for these IDs, and it's getting mega confusing.
It's so weird. Like I thought, like when the My Nintendo things took over from Club Nintendo, and then we made these Nintendo IDs. I thought that was it. We were set for life. This is it. This is all you need. I think it even said, it'll work in future mobile games and future consoles. It's like, this is it. But then this is like another layer on top of your ID, Nintendo ID. I'm so confused.
Yeah.
But what it is anyway, it's like you just log in with your regular ID, and then if you go to the settings, it's got like, you could have got your change email, change name, and then this like user ID just appeared out of nowhere. And you click that, and you have to change your password for some reason. Do you notice that? You have to change your password, and then you can add a user ID. So, I claimed my Famicomplicated and my Japanese one as well, which I just called Famicomplicated JP. That's all I could think of.
Like I said, I'm pretty sure I'm just double check my Japanese one. I have that set up, and I think I got my US one set up too. And thankfully I have like a different me picture, like some bald guy with a creepy mustache. So it's really easy not to get him confused.
Right.
Even though the names are like.
How did you change that?
It was like something I created on my 3DS, like my American 3DS, a long time ago. I just made a character. It's called It's Me, and yeah, and whatever. And that was just the me that it was. But I'd imagine this is something that maybe you could change later-ish. So don't.
Hi, what's your gamer tag? Your Xbox gamer tag?
Super Tie DX.
Okay, that's what I'm calling my US account.
All right.
I just want to take advertise.
And one thing I saw, it was like a comment string on Polygon or something, where it was a couple of people were talking about like they've got short usernames. I think, one guy was, this guy is called TGT is his username, and these Nintendo user IDs are a 6-character minimum.
Right.
So he said, like, I only use 3 characters, so this is really annoying. So he contacted customer services. And the response I thought was strange. So they said the character limit set for the user ID is different than that for the Nintendo account name. This is for your own security, and it is highly recommended that you set a user ID that is different from your Nintendo account name. As such, the character limit for the user ID will not be changed. So that's really bizarre. I have no idea what's going on there.
I was with you for the first part, and then I was like, okay, whatever. I mean, obviously, you might have something completely different. Like I said, on my North American 3DS, my username on there is It's Me, but my Nintendo Network ID was something else, and now my Nintendo, it's just
right. Because you had like a username before this username. I had like Famicomplicated, but my name was James.
Yeah.
But now I've got that. I've got Famicomplicated and I've got James. Now I've got my new user ID, which is also Famicomplicated, but whatever.
Right. I mean, I'm just looking at my account on here, and it's, there's Danny Biv in the corner. There's a Danny Biv there, and there's a user ID Danny Biv. I mean,
What I'm guessing this is that they're retiring the Nintendo accounts that were used on Wii U and Switch. And this
Nintendo
is like,
Network ID, excuse me.
Nintendo Network ID, I apologize.
NNID.
This is like this is their soft way to slowly erase that by kind of overlapping.
Cyrus, you said Switch, but you meant Wii U, right?
I don't care anymore. Too many Nintendo whatevers.
They're retiring the Wii U is dead, so it's like 3DS, Wii U, that's NNID, and that's old, and that's never going to be used again.
Yeah. Right. So this is what they're trying to roll out as its replacement. That's what I'm guessing anyway.
Yeah, but also we I don't know if we got it in the news, but we don't. We found out that there was a little bit of hope. Like the Switch was leaked, wasn't it? It was accidentally. Well, no, actually, no, it wasn't accidentally.
Nintendo said it was a stolen machine.
It was stolen. Yeah, somebody stole it and then resold it, and the guy who bought it didn't know it was stolen until Nintendo said, "Hey, by the way, that one you've got, it's stolen. Please give it back to us." But that was after he'd uploaded a video about the user profile and the setup, and what else did he do? He basically showed the whole UI and everything, right? Mm-hmm. And in part of that setup process, it said something like, the Nintendo ID is used to store all of your purchases, and it can be transferred from system to system. So basically, what it means is that it's no longer locked to one console like it is with the Wii U. Like, if you get another Switch, you can just log out on one Switch and log in with another one, as it should have always been. You don't need to phone up Nintendo to transfer to a different console.
Right.
Those days are gone. So right. I don't think you'll be able to have the same login on two systems. But you'll definitely be able to switch it yourself. You don't have to call Nintendo or your parents.
Yes. So let's keep going on with the news here. Cy, this next bit of news is something I know that you put on the agenda here.
Yes. So and adding to the growing list of Switch games that have been announced was a smartphone game called Voyez. I think Voyez. I don't know what the pronounce for this is. VOEZ or Z. And
Good.
This is a smartphone music game, and they're making a Switch port. So the game is available now on Android and iPhone. So I downloaded it last night to try it out, and it's okay-ish, I guess. It's a smartphone music game. There's a billion of them, and this is one of them.
Is it free?
It's free, but it's really heavily locked behind microtransactions. So you start the game, you get one free song that you own. Okay. And then as you play, you can very slowly unlock more songs.
Okay. Is this for the Switch version or for the...
They haven't really given any information about the Switch version aside from it is coming. And this game, have any of you ever played Groove Coaster in game centers or on your phone?
I've seen it.
I think I played it like once.
Yeah, the basic idea is you've got like a single track of music, and then different types of notes will appear. Hold notes, like tap notes, flick, whatever. And this game kind of runs the same, where it's got like a single track of music, but then throughout the song, the track will move across the screen, or it'll split into several tracks, and you have to keep track of them with your two thumbs. So it's really heavily designed for a touchscreen. So this game will definitely be I can only imagine it being played as an on the Switch touchscreen game.
Actually, yeah, you just reminded me of another bit of news about a game which is way better than this bullshit. Tomorrow Corporation, they announced 3 games that are coming to Switch: World of Goo, Human Resource Machine, and Inferno. I forgot what it is. It was a Wii U launch game. Wii U eShop launch game. Little Inferno, thank you. So all 3 of those are coming to Switch. And I thought, that's cool. Like, World of Goo, I've always wanted to play that. I mean, I think I had the demo on the Wii. Like, that was like one of the best Wii eShop games, right? Well, it wasn't called eShop, was it?
We were.
There you go, thank you.
I think that might be in a Humble Bundle right now. You might want to check that out.
So
I think it's perpetually in Humble Bundles.
Probably. It's a good game, apparently. Yeah. So I tweeted at Tomorrow Corporation and I said, so will we be able to use touch controls when the Switch is undocked? You know, because I was trying to get, you know, a little bit of info about the system. You know, will you be able to have games that are touch when it's undocked, but then pointer when it is docked? Because I didn't think they would reply, to be honest, but they did, and they were like, "Yep, when it's undocked, you can use touch controls, and when it's in docked, you can use the Joy-Con as a pointer." So I was like, "Oh, cool!" It kind of
That is cool. Good job.
And that actually became a little bit of news on Nintendo World Report later. So,
budding game journalist James Trump.
Yeah.
budding
Taking center stage.
You got the scoop.
Got the scoop. So yeah, that was interesting. But and they didn't explain how the pointer thing is going to work. If it's like the IR camera thing on the Joy-Con, or if it's just like motion control or something like that, based on tilt or something. But we'll find out. But anyway, it's cool. It's cool that you can have. So probably for this shitty game that we're talking about now, Voez, you know, maybe it's the same kind of deal.
Yeah,
You know,
probably where it'll have different controls depending on if it's docked or undocked.
I mean, whoever talked about Miku games, was it? I'm assuming it was Cyrus, or maybe Danny.
Oh, the Hatsune Miku ones?
Hatsune Miku, like you can do, or maybe it was all you guys have talked about freaking Miku games in the past.
They're not bad games, man. Really.
No. But like the fact that you can have touch controls and you can use like D-pad or whatever.
Oh yeah. I think that was probably me on Project Mirai.
Also, too, I mean, with that
works.
Final Fantasy Dance Rhythm as well.
Yeah. Maybe that was another one. So like basically, Switch, you can have both. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not limited to one or the other, which was something I always thought they wouldn't do. You know.
What I am curious with this game though is that it's so heavily locked behind microtransactions and stuff. Like, I'm curious to see how they change that over to the Switch, or if they will maintain them. Like, would it have microtransactions as a Switch title, like a free to download or whatever?
Nintendo are fine with microtransactions now.
I know. That's what I'm curious. This brave new world on the Switch, what will they do with this kind of stuff?
Free to start, free to play, whatever. They're down with it.
Yeah. This game, I tried it out. I will probably never play it again. I really didn't like it. But the one thing that I did stand out that was interesting was that it's a Taiwanese game. So all of the music is it's like sang in Mandarin. It's all Chinese and Taiwanese music.
Huh.
So I mean, like, I play a million rhythm games here in Japan, and most, like 90% of the music is all Japanese singers and J-pop and whatever. So having a game that's entirely Mandarin songs is really strange and kind of refreshing. So if you're into that, give it a try. It's free. Get a few games and then delete it like I did.
I might.
I'm just biting my fist right now, by the way.
I don't think you can get achievements with that, Ty. Sorry. You could try. I don't know how it's going to work, but
one thing this game did inspire me is, like, I would love to see like a Switch game that comes out that, you know, like a Battle of the Bands game where it's got really simple music controls, like and you can each use half a Joy-Con to play it, so that you could go to your friend's house and be like, hey, you want to play like co-op Guitar Hero, and you give each half like a Joy-Con. Like, that would be awesome to play like little mini games like that, or little music games between two people. I want that. I need it.
Yeah, I think that tabletop mode is going to be big, especially in Japan. Like, just sharing. I'm not going to say what Nintendo said, but sharing a controller with a friend and just playing it anywhere. Because I think that's all the TV commercials are focused on here, right?
Yeah, I think that's that's the first thing I said, and I will keep saying it. That is the killer app of the Switch.
Yeah, I was just thinking about, like, in the office, like in the teacher's room where I work. Just being able to play Mario Kart at lunchtime, things like that, with one system, just one Joy-Con each. Well, I'll probably just give them one Joy-Con, and then I'll use the Pro Controller. Totally fair.
I like it.
But yeah, and then, Splatoon. That's another cool thing, to be able to play that. You don't even need internet. You can just play LAN now. That's not in the news, is it? Splatoon's got LAN support.
Oh yeah, they detailed how it all works. Like, you can just hook 8 consoles together plus a
10.
spectator console.
10 consoles together, because 2 can be spectators. Yeah, that's amazing.
So they're going full esports on this.
Yeah, Ty.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
base,
esports,
man.
esports. We esports now.
They actually just showed off a new stage for Splatoon like about an hour ago.
So, right.
It's like some sort of rock concert place.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Sounds hype.
Well, moving on with the news, we kind of
and then the live the Splatfire, the test fire.
Oh,
I mean, I think that's Ty's only sampling of Splatoon, isn't it? There's the 1 hour free demo. No, I think they did 3 hours, don't they? But it's really weird time because it's like a global thing. So for us, it's like 1 a.m. and then 7 a.m. and then 12 p.m.
Right. There were like a few different ones, and
Some of
them were great times, and some of them were really inconvenient times.
Yeah, the inconvenient ones were meant for someone in another region, right?
Right, other regions.
Those are the glory days of roller assault.
Finger quotes. Oh yeah. I love the paint roller.
That's
non-stop scrub quotes. And I also, if you remember when I played it, I also live streamed it, and like the very first thing that happened was someone came at me with a roller, and I just walked backwards and shot them, and commented on how it was the chess of games.
I'd love to see Ty do that now.
Yeah, sorry, I like Overwatch.
Yeah, things have changed since then, Ty. Things have changed.
Yeah, well, I mean, come on, who didn't see that coming a mile away?
Yeah, it was the stupidest thing to complain about. It's like saying that blocking is overpowered in Street Fighter.
Right? Or Bastion is overpowered in Overwatch. Yeah. Noted worst character.
Yes.
It is cool that they're doing this again, and it's going to be in March. I think it's 24th?
24th, 23rd, something like that too.
So that's like another launch game, I guess, in a way.
I actually wonder if that converted a few people who were like, I'll hold off on the Switch to I'll actually pick it up.
It almost did to me. But then I thought, wait a minute, this is just an hour. This is not like I'll be playing Splatoon, to up to summer. It's they will probably do it another few times. They did do that with Splatoon 1. It wasn't just that once, was it? They did it a couple of times. So
might have been like after, yeah, they did.
Yeah, you could be right. But I could easily see them doing it another couple of times before it comes out, just to iron out the kinks.
Mm-hmm.
So what's next on the news?
Yeah, some other little things here. We mentioned Fire Emblem Heroes earlier. There's a big kind of an update that kind of went through. It changed the heroes that you can get, that you can pull from, and then there's kind of scaled down stamina costs and stuff like that.
Yeah, that stamina cost thing, I know it's only a minor thing, but it was nice that originally this is supposed to be like a launch period of the game, where all the a lot of the missions were half cost, like half of the stamina costs.
Right.
And then everyone complained. It was like, please leave it like this. Do not make them double the cost after this launch period. Yeah. And then the company's like, okay. So.
Yeah, thank God. Because, I mean, otherwise you really can't get a lot of stuff done. So.
No, it would be more unplayable than it is now if they doubled the costs.
Right. And then everyone would leave, not just Cyrus.
Yes.
So. Next part, we kind of talked about this a little bit earlier, Pokemon Go, getting all the different Gen 2 critters. Pokemon Tournament gets a major, Pokken gets a major 1.5 update in arcades. So we talked about the Wii U version before. So what type of stuff does this arcade update do?
Yeah, this is what I was saying about the Wii U one being left behind, where it's 2 patches behind now. Mm-hmm. Where this did a lot, it was just mainly balance changes, but some of the DLC characters got really majorly changed with getting new attacks or stuff like that. And the assist Pokemon were heavily changed to sometimes you can only use some assist Pokemons once a match, where you used to be able to use them as many times as you could. Okay. So it was just a lot of general tweaking, and this patch is so big that I feel this is a precursor to a Switch announcement.
Okay.
But yeah, aside from that, nothing really major in that patch.
Right. I'm just checking out the new Splatoon map. Yeah, it looks amazing. It makes complete sense because it's they've had all those Splatoon concerts, right? With Callie and Marie.
The live Splatoon stuff. So
yeah, so it's kind of like that, isn't it? Makes sense.
Right.
Sorry.
So
I need to start my Splatoon section again. Maybe when it comes out.
well, hey, I mean, it's coming up. It'll be pretty relevant here, if not already, here very soon. Next little bit of news here. Yeah, I mean, as expected, kind of talking about Switch file sizes. These, yeah, I mean, if you're only a Nintendo gamer, actually, Jesus Christ, these are tiny.
The biggest one is like 32 gigs, and that's the Dragon Quest Heroes, right?
Yeah,
and that's like 2 games in one, and it's Square Enix, so
yeah. It does mean if you want to download that game, you literally can't do it on the base system. It takes up more than the entire the entire internal storage.
But that's a stupid thing to say. I mean, who's going to want to download like a massive game and then not have additional storage?
yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Remember when I had to delete my Splatoon save file because I ran out of Wii U storage?
Do you remember how much we mocked you for that for like a whole year?
That was pretty good times.
The guy who bought an 8 gigabyte system and then decided to do all digital. Yeah, brilliant. Good job. You're not going to do that with the Switch, are you? It's like
I already have my memory card bought for the Switch.
Oh, nice.
First game you're going to download is Dragon Quest Heroes.
I want to see if Disney Infinity's coming. They've announced Skylanders. I gotta live on the hope.
You've got your 4 gigabyte micro SD ready. Good.
I think it's like I've got like a 50 gig one here or something.
50.
Yeah.
You really didn't learn, did you?
How big is this? Oh wait, 200 gigs. Sorry.
Okay. Let's say 50. I don't think they make them like that. That's a weird
that would
size.
be kind of useless.
Yeah. It's just a
200,
bizarre.
Yeah, that's more than enough.
So next little bit of news. I thought we talked about this last episode actually. Ultra Street Fighter 2 color edit modes plus like a first person mode for Ken.
Oh man, since that episode we've actually seen it now, and it looks terrible.
We are back in the glory days of random waggle games for the Wii, man.
My life.
Was there a what's it called? A Dragon Ball Z like Wii game where you had to like waggle like the nunchuck and the thing together to do like a fireball?
Right. It was just Budokai with like mandatory waggling.
Yeah.
I think it basically reminded me of that. It was terrible, and it's such a bad advertisement for the Joy-Cons. It makes the Joy-Cons look unresponsive. And
it looks genuinely terrible.
That was I mean, if I was Nintendo, I would be like fucking flipping tables. It's like, why are you showing this? Why are you showing this shit to the public? At least get it fucking sorted before you start live streaming it to the world. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, Nintendo are clamping down on like indie devs who accidentally photograph the Joy-Con from the wrong angle, and then they let Capcom show this shite. It's like, what the hell's going on over there? Seriously, it's like
a whole lot of oversight.
Somebody leaked the fucking UI, and like, who gives a shit? It's not like, who's gonna care about that,
Yeah.
And then they're gonna show the Joy-Con unresponsive and shitty. That's such a damaging thing to show. It's like really bad idea.
Right.
And it's not finished, right? They said, I think in that same interview, they said, yeah, it's 50% finished, this game.
It's coming out this year.
It's coming out in like 2 weeks or whatever.
It's coming out. They just said this year, but...
Oh, okay. So, yeah, thank Christ for that then.
Yeah, I know. It's coming out on launch day. 50% done. Congratulations. Have fun with our game.
I love that Japanese magazines still do that. It reminds me of like reading Nintendo magazines in the 90s, It's like, this game is 5% finished. Look forward to it in the next 5 years.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I do play Street Fighter V. I'm well aware, I'm well versed in Capcom's history of releasing games that are 50% done.
Oh yeah, actually I forgot. Yeah, that's a good point, Cyrus. 50%. Yeah, so yeah, that's straight to retail then.
Yeah, like it's ready to ship.
Surprise launch game. There it is.
50% finished. Done. Job done. You want the other 50%? DLC.
Yes. So the last little bit of news here. This is something that came out of, I think it was a press event or some kind of streaming event that NIS America had. And Cold Step, Revolt, and RPG Maker Fest, also called, I think, Japanese RPG Tsukuru Fest, are coming to North America, thanks to James or NIS America. Take your pick.
Thanks, James. I love Concept.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and I talked about Concept Revolt last year. There was a pretty lengthy demo that I think I got somehow through my Nintendo, and no, it's fine. I mean, I had a decent time with it, I guess, for a demo that was free. Yeah, I haven't played the RPG Maker for 3DS though. I always kind of wanted to get it. There is, maybe I'll just do this for the next episode, or no, probably not because Switch. But for those of you out there that aren't getting the Switch, James,
yes,
maybe you should just download like the RPG Maker, because there's like a player that you can get where you can just download games that people have actually made.
Okay.
Maybe that's something we can talk about next episode, if possible.
No one's going to care about that at Switch launch.
Probably not. So actually, good point.
Seriously, nothing we say in the next episode will matter. It'll just be white noise to everyone.
Yeah, I'll just try to just try to throw out a cast out a wide net there, but doesn't matter.
Have any of you actually gone into like the stores that have all the Switch on displays with the games and stuff yet?
I haven't left my house in weeks.
Oh well, I went in. Whoops, and there was it's kind of cool. Like the store, my nearest store is like going all out. Obviously, it's got a huge Switch display. There's the console there and
Sweet.
all the game boxes and stuff. So yeah, it's cool. It's like almost here.
I haven't been out. I haven't been out to like a shop since I think I pre-ordered, and at the time there was like nothing. I mean, like maybe some printed out like stuff from like a printer from 1998, like taped on the door.
You want to pre-order a what now?
Yeah, I mean that was kind of the thing.
You were way too early.
Yeah,
there's the big camera in Akiba, and I've seen it. I haven't been there, but I mean, somebody took a photo, and they've got like 3 switches side by side, each one in the different formation. Like they've got tabletop
that's
mode,
cool.
so you can see it. How it's meant to be played. Which is a cool idea.
Yeah, the Akiba big camera is like famous for being really cool.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Just being really cool.
Yeah,
they
like
don't
they
sell
had
anything.
all of the Smash, all the Smash amiibo like lined out in this huge
Yeah,
display.
they do.
That was really cool.
But the hype levels seem to be quite high. I mean, from what I can gather, like in Japan, pre-orders are doing well. In America, like somebody from GameStop, said like, good luck trying to get this in the next few months. They're going to have trouble meeting demand, and they might not have, it available until like, Christmas or something like that. Feels like the hype levels are up there right now. Way more than it was for Wii U, which was like almost 0 and stayed there the whole life span of the system.
Right.
So yeah, hype get, I guess.
Yeah. So I guess on that hype get note, we're going to go ahead and end the news and go into the next segment of the show, which, James, let's save this part for the very end that you put above the other one. Actually, so we have kind of a short life in Japan that we wanted to talk about. And actually, James, would you want to go ahead and take this away? Because I'm assuming this is you.
What do you mean short?
Or very long. This is going to be extensive.
Yeah.
So buckle down for another 8 hours.
Well, this life in Japan, I wanted to talk about Sentos, because, well, we've talked about onsen. I mean, there was a kind of a famous early episode of the Famicast with the word onsen in it, and that then went on to the telethon episode immediately afterwards, where we continued talking about onsens with the A4 guys.
Yes.
But Sentos are very similar to onsens in the fact that it's a hot bath, it's a bathhouse. But like the difference is, do you guys know the difference between onsen and sento?
I just looked it up on Wikipedia earlier,
Well,
but I won't. Yeah.
Basically, Japan is like, the whole country is like, it's on a hotbed of natural hot water underneath the country. And onsen takes that hot water directly from under the earth. But sentos are more like a man-made thing. It's just regular hot water. But basically, it's in essence, it's the same thing. It's hot water that you get into to relax.
Bath.
It's a bath, yeah. It's a bathhouse. So, but onsen, you might usually have like a more natural formation. If it is from the ground, they'll obviously the bathhouse is built on top of where the water comes from. So it'll be like it could be next to the sea, it could be, like on the mountain. Lots of them are in mountains, but sentos could be anywhere. So there was one like kind of near to my house, quite a big one, but it was kind of like a dump. It was like you go past and it's like old wooden rickety place, and it's like I don't really want to go in there. I feel like I might catch something. But like I kind of went past it like recently, and it like completely been redone. It was like this massive, beautiful building. I was like, holy shit! And I went back and looked at like Google Maps, and like if you look at it in Google Maps, it's like it's the construction yard. Like the photograph, the overhead view is obviously taken during construction. So it's just like a fucking dump when you look at it in Google Maps, but when you actually go there, it's this beautiful place. So it's only just finished. So yeah, I checked it out. I haven't been to a sento or onsen in ages, and I was it's a holiday, and I was feeling like I need to unwind. So the thing about this sento is that the whole thing is that they advertised it that it was like entertainment plus sento. And I was like, okay, is this like, is it going to be like some kind of like illegal activities going on here? Like,
yes, absolutely.
Naked women going to walk in and start like massaging my feet with something or more? But no, it wasn't anything like that. Unfortunately / fortunately.
You had it right the first time.
So what it was like, I mean, they've got like all of these kind of like saunas and baths, but they've all got something kind of like unique about it. So like the baths were like not like regular water. It was like had some kind of like milk in it or something like that, and they called it literally. It was called like milky bath, and I was like, okay, this is a bit weird. Like you can actually see through the water. Like when you get in it, you can't actually see your feet. It's like it was a bit weird. And there's another one like it was like tea, like the drink tea, like
right.
Like,
I've seen some of this stuff.
So it was like brown water. So it kind of like from a distance looks like sewage water, but when you get in, it's like kind of like fragrant, like a herbal tea. Oh, sorry, herbal tea for you, Danny. So yes. I did both of those. They were pretty cool, and they had that like one where you can kind of sit in like a barrel. I kind of like makeshift barrel where you're just like on your own. I like those. Kind of like reminds me of like a old timey samurai film.
Exactly, that's what it would have been like back in the day. I mean, yeah,
exactly. And then I went to check out the sauna, and like there was this one sauna. It was like a queue of people waiting to get in. I was like, everywhere in Japan, you've got to have a queue to get in. Something like this is the thing. You already have to have like a dressing gown on. Like if you want to go into the sauna, they give you a special dressing gown to wear, and they give you like this towel to use for your sweat or to sit on it or whatever. There's literally like 30 people waiting to get in this sauna, and I was like, okay, what the hell is going on here? So I joined the queue, went in, and we all fit in. It was amazing. It was in this massive room, and it was kind of like a theater, like almost like those like open air theaters where there's like a stage in the middle and then like all those kind of stages of seats around it.
Right.
But in the middle, instead of like a stage, it was like just a pile of hot rocks. And it was fucking hot. It was like face meltingly hot. But above the rocks, there was a massive widescreen TV playing this kind of like soft music and like kind of, I don't know what you would call like a screensaver from the 90s. Like
was it that Doom screensaver where it's like going through the tunnel?
No, like lines and stars and stuff like that. So I like sat down with next to all these like old Japanese dudes and women. There's a few young people in there as well, but like mostly old people. And so I sat in there, and then the music gets louder, and then these two guys walk in, like who from the sento. They were like fully clothed, like wearing these like kind of like ninja style costumes. Like they must have been hot as fuck. I mean, I wasn't I was barely wearing anything, and I was sweating like a son of a bitch. And they brought in these huge fans, and because it was near Valentine's Day, I mean, it wasn't Valentine's Day, it was like, a few days before, they brought in these huge heart-shaped fans, and then they just threw like this fucking huge bucket of water over the rocks, and the room just immediately got even hotter, and they started like wafting everyone with these huge heart fans. But the hot air that was going towards you was so fucking hot. It was like it would melt your fucking eyelashes together. It was so hot. Like, normally when people like blow air at you with a fan, it's like it cools you down. This was the opposite. It made you hotter. And they went around to everyone individually in this room and blew in your face. Like, I was like, dude, I'm good. But like the whole time they were doing this, they were like, like, have you ever been to like a Japanese market where guys are like, like they're screaming at you and like making you come over and stuff to buy stuff? They were doing that the whole time, and they're like cracking jokes, and the music got like really loud, and it was just like,
I'm pretty sure I had a nightmare about this before.
Yeah,
it was just like intense dance music coming out, and like. And the TV was like showing like all of these kind of like, I don't know, pictures of nature, but it just clashed with the music and what was actually going on. So
they were playing the 1080 theme.
It basically was like that. And I was just like so confused. I'm like, oh, I'm so fucking hot, and they're blasting me with more hot air, and there's like this loud music, and I was like, how long is this going to go on? I was like, I kind of want to leave because I'm fucking hot here. Like, I don't think I can last like the whole.
I'm being mentally overpowered by these Cento staff members.
Right. I mean, it's like an entertainment experience. So you meant to experience the whole, I think it was like 15 minutes or something like that. But believe me, that time goes really slow when you're that hot. And I was like, fuck it. I think I made it to like 13 minutes or something. I was like, fuck it, I'm getting out of here. I stood up. And like 8 people immediately stood up because they're like, oh, someone's leaving. Someone's leaving. I'll leave at the same time as him. So obviously, I wasn't the only one, not really enjoying it. So yeah, it turns out it's like this new fad which is going around in Japan. It's like a Korean style, which I didn't know at the time. So like South Korean style, that's what they do. They fan you and like shout in your face and stuff. So yeah, I immediately went into this like ice sauna, which like I had like a block of ice suspended on the ceiling, and it had this like metal fan going around it, and it was kind of grating the ice, so it was kind of like making snow come down kind of thing.
This place sounds bonkers.
It is, yeah, it is.
That
bonkers.
Sounds incredibly dangerous.
Yeah. Well, so fuck me. Yeah, I made it. I survived anyway. It felt like, I was like going some like 300 style, initiation ceremony or something. It's like, if you survive this, you can be king. I didn't quite make it. Yeah. So yeah, that's got nothing to do with video games. But it did remind me of a Wii game that I had. Muramasa Demon Blade, if anyone's ever played that.
On my to-do list, my very, very, very long to-do list.
That had an onsen, and if you played as the female character, she took all of her clothes off and had like a very small towel over her pieces. So I was just wondering if you guys knew any more. If you had, well, A, did you have any other crazy Sento / onsen stories, and B, any other video game Sentos or onsens?
Oh, it's been so long since I've been to an onsen or done any of that type of stuff. Like the last time I'd been in like a public bath was at like a hotel, like a ryokan, like a Japanese hotel. It was just me. So whatever. But in terms of games,
you and your Burger King in one hand.
Exactly. I mean, man's got to eat. But for Monster Hunter Stories, there's a very small area where they're up in the mountains and stuff like that. There's an outdoor like hot spring that there's a bunch of people chilling out in, and you could like walk in there fully clothed and talk to people, because it was weird. I figured maybe they just let you like be able to get in and replenish some health or whatever, but no, at least not that I found at that point. It's just, hey, talk to these people. That's it.
I remember the original Pokemon anime. There was like a onsen episode. And at the time, I didn't know what it was.
Wasn't it censored heavily for the West, or not even? Maybe.
I think maybe you're looking for the official Pokemon manga, It has some pretty risque
In
sentinel
Pokemon?
onsen scenes.
Cool.
Yo, the Pokemon manga, like the guy that wrote and drew that had no idea that like it was supposed to be for kids. Apparently,
And
Yeah,
Really?
at one time they chop an Arbok's head off, like the snake Pokemon.
and drink its blood.
Yeah,
He said yes. Okay, confirmed.
yeah, like just when you get a free moment, like Google up like Pokemon like Japanese American comparison. It's a good time.
Ty, have you ever been to a real onsen/center?
Yeah, a few times. I don't have any cool stories though.
Okay.
my coolest one's not great, but I went to this onsen in this place near my town called Isawa Onsen, which is just a million onsens.
Mhm.
And I went in with a bunch of friends, and I came out early. And as you like walked in towards the onsen area, there's like a little mini game center. So there was a bunch of like slot machines, and there was some UFO machines, and they had an original Time Crisis machine, like Time Crisis 1.
Nice. Was it
And
the
I'm-
one with the really big screen?
No, this is like a small mini cabinet one.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, oh shit, Time Crisis 1. I haven't played this game in like 10, 20 years. I love this thing. So I'm like, okay, I'll give this a shot. But it was plugged out. And I'm like, fuck, denied. So I walked away. And about 5 minutes later, I'm like, I'm going to go try and plug that machine in. So I went over and as I thought, it was plugged out of the back. But all the other machines were like blocking it. So no one was around. So I kind of dragged out all of the Pachinko machines that were there.
Uh-oh.
And it was like, okay, I'll try and plug this Time Crisis machine in, but there were no more plugs, so I had to plug out one of the Pachinko machines,
Good.
and I plugged in I had to like worm in between. I was like covered in dust and grime from sneaking in behind all these machines, and then when I plugged in the Time Crisis machine, it started making this really loud like klaxon squealing sound, like the machine was trying to like possess me in some way.
CRT is fucked.
Yeah, so it was like there was a reason this thing was unplugged, and I'm like, fuck, someone's gonna notice that like I'm here sneaking around behind the Pachinko machines. So I had to like yank it out and fix the machines as fast as possible and run over and be like totally nonchalant.
Covered in
but,
dust.
Like this onsen worker came over really quickly and was like checking out the machine and just like looked at me, and I was like, and he just walked away.
Man, I
Pachinko balls all over the floor.
predicted that would have happened. I have seen that happen personally several times in my tenure at the old game center.
So were you totally naked at this point as well?
Well, I was by the end
Ty
of
is
the
fine.
You're talking to Cyrus.
That's how I play all my arcade games.
Right?
Yeah, you need you need both your arms and your feet to play Time Crisis. You need maximum like freedom of movement.
Yes.
That's right. The Luigi's Mansion arcade game has got like a black curtain, so you can do whatever you want inside it.
Uh-oh.
But there are implied limits.
Implied.
Just because it's a vacuum cleaner game, don't get any ideas.
Good.
Flop cake.
Good point. So yeah, you have to be naked in sentos and onsens, by the way, in case people didn't know that.
Yeah.
You got to wash yourself off, make yourself nice and clean, and then go in there butt naked.
For me,
No
the weirdest
tattoos,
thing was
none of those yakuza.
yeah. Well, for me, the weirdest thing
Yeah.
about my first trip to the onsen, I was with my university, and
Covered in tattoos.
yes, covered in tattoos. No, and like the first time I was ever in an onsen was with some of my professors. That was
Oh
weird.
right, I think you've said that before on the
Yeah.
episode,
Probably.
on the first episode we did about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually took a photo of not not inside the onsen. That's not allowed. That's not.
Yeah.
Allowed. No, in the entrance, it had no tattoos, but it said no tattoo, and it was spelled incorrectly.
Sweet.
So it was like TATOO. And there's a picture of a hand, so it was completely confusing. No tattoo, and then a hand.
No tattoos of a hand. Got it.
There you go. It's weird. Yeah, no tattoos, because obviously Yakuza. I think the Yakuza games do have a Sento. I think I remember seeing a video of like like two guys like kicking the shit out of each other in a Sento, completely naked. And I think that's a Yakuza game, or like with
That
just a
sounds
tower.
like Yakuza.
That's plausible. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah, I am curious to see, like, with the 2020 Olympics coming up, Japan is like kind
Yeah.
of trying to become more accepting of non-Japanese culture.
Right.
So I'm wondering, will they start opening up onsens and sento to at least foreigners with tattoos? Because
Well, let's
that's
start with
most of
foreigners.
them now.
Then foreigners with tattoos. Right. Well,
And
yeah.
there are a few places that will be like, they see a group of foreigners coming and they're like, oh, sorry,
Right.
we're full.
Yeah.
When we go to Isao Onsen, usually we get a Japanese person to go in first and be like, oh, do you have any spaces? And once they say yes, then we let the group of gaijin come in behind them.
Then you draw back the curtain and there's like 20 guys in behind him.
Yeah.
Good call.
Cool.
Yeah, there've been some high-profile cases of racism in certain, out there places in the countryside.
That's me.
Yeah, I guess that's where you live, isn't it? Less of that in Tokyo and stuff. But yeah, most like I think Danny said, like most hotels have them. Well, yeah, it'll be a sento.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, you get some really cool. I like even in Tokyo, like in the city, you'll have like sentos on like a really high floor, so you can be like sat there butt naked looking across the city, or you could be in the countryside outside, covered in, surrounded by snow, butt naked, licking at mountains or whatever. Yeah, I went to one near Mount Fuji. That was pretty cool, and in the snow. That's an experience.
I think my first onsen was those snow monkeys where they sit in the onsen monkeys.
Yeah.
So up there, like nearby, there's this really small onsen at the station. So that was my first onsen.
I was going to say you're not allowed in the ones with the monkeys.
Well, not anymore.
Well, mostly because it's covered in shit.
Yeah, that's some nasty,
And
shitty
piss.
water.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to go in there. Cool.
Well,
Okay, well that's the end of my life in Japan. No one has any sentos from games. I think one of the SNES Goemon games has got a sento.
that makes sense. That's
Yeah, I remember that.
I don't know if it's got any nudity in it, but it's
absolutely.
I think it had a fart bubble.
The E Honda stage remains one of the best stages of Street Fighter 2.
Shit, you just blew my mind. I never made that connection until now. Amazing. Yeah, that's a sento.
Yeah, that's the kind of one you'd normally see in like a hotel, like the really small. It's like a tiled bath. Just
Right.
Yep. Watch your step.
Yeah.
And it's actually accurate that when you beat people up, like the backgrounds of the sentos will start like flashing new text and stuff.
Technology.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
Cool.
Way to knock a fat guy into a pool. That's the other thing I did at my sento, but yeah, I'll talk about that next time.
Right. Okay. Well, I think that. Oh God, no, not yet.
Well, that wraps up that segment.
Yes, that's the end of that segment. Thank you, James, for bringing that up.
Yep.
So we got a little bit of feedback. One from Mark Harrison. If you guys want, I know some of you guys out there listening and watching live right now, if you guys have any like quick fire questions you want to ask, please go ahead and ask it in the
YouTube
the
chat.
thing. God, I'm starting to fade. Sorry. If you want to send us a question, that's
Somebody says, don't shave before you go in an onsen. Philip Anderson said that.
okay.
Most people are saying it would be kind of weird to go to an onsen. Maybe the whole naked thing.
Yeah, it's definitely like the first time I went into one, it's like, this is odd. I'm naked and there's other people here.
Yeah.
But you get over it pretty quick when you're in Japan.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, being from America and just Western cultures, I mean, I don't know about you guys, like in PE class, we never had to take showers. Seriously.
The showers. Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, that's not a thing we do in Irish schools.
Yeah.
Notably because most PE places don't have showers.
I mean, our schools did. I mean, there's schools that are in my hometown are like, 50, 60, 70 years old, falling apart.
Cyrus, I thought you were going to say something else. We don't have showers in Irish schools because most of them are Catholic schools run by priests. But yeah, that's
Oh.
There it is.
Too soon.
So let's move on to feedback.
Yeah. So if you want to send us an email or something like that, you can email us at
There we go.
famicast@nintendoworldreport.com. If you want to hit us up on Twitter, you can do that at the Famicast and have your stuff read out on the air like these guys.
Double correct.
This guy. So, yeah, James, do you want to go ahead and read what Mark Harrison
Mark
said?
Harrison. Hacker alias at flapping_eagle. Question for the podcast. What are your top 5 third-party PS4/Xbone games that you'd like to see on the Switch? Which is a good question, because probably there will be games that do that. Do we have, are there any examples, like, straight off the bat? Are there any
Horizon Zero Horizon, whatever that thing is called?
No. I mean ones that are confirmed coming to the Switch already.
Oh, well, there is like Skyrim or
FIFA.
Skyrim.
Yeah, I put Culticept on my short list.
Culticept.
Yeah,
but that's
is that a third party Xbox?
That's 3DS. But let's see what else they have. Well, Disgaea is coming out on.
Oh yeah, PlayStation Boy.
Right.
And then other games like I Am Setsun and stuff. But I think he's asking like more like what would you want to see, not like what's coming.
Okay. Well,
I've got 3.
I've got a bunch.
Okay. And he says top 5. So
let's see.
Well, I've got 3. So
Ty, if you got a bunch, start naming some off, bud.
All right. Well, there's Necrodancer, who I just talked about. It would be really good to play on the go. Maybe a bunch of visual novels, just whatever. Phoenix Wright, you know.
Yeah, Phoenix Wright has to make it to Switch, right?
Yeah.
Eventually.
And something more strategy games like XCOM.
Ooh.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah. Like the kind of games where you can just stop and go at any time.
And it wouldn't have to be the shitty mobile versions. Could be
Yeah.
actually a proper version as well.
And I just threw in Catherine because whatever.
Is that not a PlayStation exclusive, or is that?
No, I think I played that on the Xbox. No, I played on PlayStation actually.
I have that on 360.
By the way, if you haven't played that game, go play it. It's super good.
Yeah, it was on sale for as low as like $2 like a few months back.
Yeah, that's one of my unexpected highlights of like that entire Xbox 360 PS3 era. It's really, really good.
Nice.
Same.
Yeah, I would like Kingdom Hearts. I want those boys on Switch. Like those collections of all the Kingdom Hearts games, like 1.5 and 2.5 and 2.8 HD.
Stop.
Final Prologue, whatever it is.
Well, I could see them maybe on like a virtual console service doing like all the GBA ports or something like that.
I would really hope they just take because all of the games are now collected on those 3 discs for the PlayStation 3.
Right.
So if they just give me those. Just let me play them. I want those ones.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a pretty big fan of like EA. I like, they make a lot of different games. They have a lot of different development teams and stuff. And I'd love, and I thought we would have seen this, but I'd love to see some kind of Star Wars game coming, whether that be the next Battlefront or just some other Star Wars license game. I think that'd be really cool.
You took my first choice. Battlefront has to happen.
But then at the same time, like the first one's primarily an online game. I mean, play at home, play connected, tethered to your phone.
There's no offline modes whatsoever.
There are, but if you want to play the first version of the game, you got to do that. But then again, with the second one, they're talking about a single player campaign and stuff like that. So, but with EA being on board, like they're kind of dipping their toe in the water a little bit with FIFA, and I don't know. I mean, about a year or so ago, EA went on to say stuff like, if Nintendo's serious about supporting EA stuff, and particularly like sports stuff, maybe they should actually start to offer bundles like Microsoft and Sony do. Maybe they should start to offer like these type of sports services that people actually use. Because if you're I think this kind of goes hand in hand. If you want to have like EA, like other games like Star Wars, they probably want you to maybe do other stuff too. I don't know. Am I even making any sense anymore?
Sort of.
Yeah. I would love to. Well, this is a game that I've heard Ty talk about a lot, and I've seen a lot of videos of it. Doom, 2016 version.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would work really well because you've got the single player. I know it's got a multiplayer game, which people are not too hot on, which you could play when you get home. But like on the train playing the single player thing, I think that'd be look really nice.
Yeah, I'd like Overwatch. I would love to see Overwatch hit the consoles, like because it's already on Xbox and PS3. So
you wouldn't be able to play that
on Switch.
You wouldn't be able to play that on the train, though, would you? You'd just be able to play it, around the house.
That would be at home online, pretty much only, but still.
Yeah, I would go with that as well. And then like a GTA 5, I guess, would be cool because again, you've got like the online at home, and then the doing a couple of missions like on the train would be pretty cool. And go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, because I had other games like that on my list too, like Assassin's Creed, and maybe even like that new Tom Clancy Ghost Recon Wildlands that's coming out. I mean, I think that stuff's cool, and if they make it so you can just save your progress easily and be done, like put it in sleep mode and be fine, then yeah, it's no problem. But sometimes like mission stuff in GTA, it takes a while sometimes, and oh God, I got to get off my stop. If I don't get out of the train,
it's got a sleep mode. I mean, we've seen not thanks to Nintendo, thanks to people getting hold of the system ahead of time. We now know it's got sleep function, and like you can do all that via the touchscreen and stuff. So it's got a fast, and like you have to touch it was it like 3 times to turn it off, so you don't accidentally do it up. To wake it up, yeah. So yeah, that should be fine for that kind of stuff.
It's honestly a little terrifying how much is still unknown about this console, and it's out in like 2 weeks.
Well, it's about a week.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's February. Yeah. We've got like literally a week and a half, and there's a new console.
Are they going to do a Nintendo Direct before launch? I mean, they'd have to do it like in the next few days.
They're going to do it as soon as I'm finished editing. I guarantee.
Yeah, right. Famicast curse. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. You're welcome. Probably people are listening to this and watching the Direct at the same time, so you're welcome.
Yeah. They're just they wait for us to announce a show so they can book the following day off. So then, that's when the news is going to drop.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote an article a year and a half before the Wii U launched. I think it was like the first reveal or something like that. And the title was literally Wii U unanswered questions. And I listed like maybe 20, 25 questions about like what I wanted to know about the console and what I wanted to know about the gamepad. Because it was they just like showed what it could do, and then there was nothing. And it was like, oh, okay, like please tell us all this stuff. And that was a year and a half. I actually didn't realize it was such a long time before it. And I read through all the questions and stuff. I put a few predictions mixed in with the questions as well. And it was amazing, like how long it took for them to actually answer those questions was quite of a long time. And some of them they'd never answered. And some of them, were pretty crazy. Like, can we use 4 gamepads on the Wii U? Things like that.
Pipe dreams.
Yeah, because we didn't know, right? People were thinking it's going to be like 4 individual screens all playing together, but because we really didn't know how it was going to work. It's kind of an interesting article to read back now because along with the user comments, people were predicting what the Wii U was going to be, what kind of games it was going to have. It's almost like the whole history of the Wii U's life and death in one article. It's kind of amazing how accurately we managed to predict everything, and yeah, it's kind of crazy. But yeah, and now we're a week away from Switch launch, and we've got literally the same amount of questions. It's kind of crazy, We don't know how the eShop's going to work. Purchase is going to transfer over. I mean, for example, I'm going to link my Nintendo account and my British one, and my Japanese one has only got 3DS purchases on because I only got a Japanese 3DS. I don't have a Japanese Wii U, and my European account is just Wii U purchases. So are any of those purchases going to carry over? I've only got a handful of Virtual Console games on both systems. Are any of those going to transfer over to Switch? Will they both transfer over, or none of them? There's so many things we don't know.
Yeah, man, it's crazy, and I hope it's just not like, well, you get the console, you just kind of you get to find out then, and hopefully Nintendo's saying, hopefully we know too.
And like Ty always talks about how his old 360 games that he bought like 8-9 years ago just get updated, and then they just appear on his dashboard, and it's like, oh yeah, I remember that game I bought a decade ago, and now it's like backwardsly compatible, and I don't have to pay anything extra for it. I mean,
it's nice.
I mean, yeah, it is nice, and I just really can't see Nintendo doing anything anywhere similar to that. It'd be like, yeah, we updated this virtual console game. Please pay $2 to upgrade it. That's about the best we can hope for.
Right.
It sucks, but we'll find out maybe soon. I hope. Maybe they'll show a video showing how the UI works. Hey-o.
For $2, you can upgrade the previous Nintendo Directs to have more information about the Switch launch.
There it is.
DLC.
So back to Mark's question, was there maybe, if you guys had any other games, maybe just one more that you'd want to see on Switch, even if it's something that's like never going to happen ever?
Metal Gear Solid, original trilogy.
Okay.
Street Fighter. I want Street Fighter 5. I want whatever. King of Fighters. Fill that thing with fighting games.
Man, I want No Man's Sky. There's no way.
The Sony exclusive, yeah. Good.
Yeah, exactly. There's no way. It's fun to play. It'd be great to be able to play it on the go. My wife hates it.
Basically, I want everything. Like, I'm sick of the Wii U having nothing. Like, now that you're asking me this, I'm just like, oh my god, why are we even talking about this? Why aren't these games on Nintendo consoles?
Yeah.
What about all those Zelda remakes that like all on Wii U? Is like, will they bother bringing those over?
Ty, did you have anything, maybe one last thing that you think would be cool to play on the go? Not even necessarily on the go, just like not attached.
Barkley Shut Up and Jam Gaiden 2.
Yeah, there it is.
When it eventually comes out.
For Switch.
Yeah, for Switch.
Deluxe.
Like the greatest practical joke of all time.
Frog Fractions 2.
Yeah, baby.
3. Squared.
Okay. Well, I think that's about all the feedback we have, like from Twitter and all that stuff. Even if you guys are watching right now, maybe feel free to send us something at any time, and we'll get to it at some point in the future. No promises here, but we'll get to it. So, before we go ahead and sign off, I wanted to kind of make a little bit of an announcement. Obviously, we're coming up on episode 100 very soon. Basically, a month from now, we'll be doing episode 100.
Oh, and, I miscounted, didn't I? Because I said episode 100 would be Switch launch, but that's because we all thought it would come out late March, and Nintendo just dropped the bomb, and it's like,
they screwed it up.
3rd of March, yeah. So 99 is going to be Switch launch.
Yeah.
And
so exactly. Next episode's all going to be, a lot about Switch, and it's going to be a big thing about it. But
Danny will be talking about the menu for an hour.
Yes, it's going to be great. But yeah, then after that, we're going to have episode 100. We don't have all of the details planned out. I'm hoping maybe like last week of March. We'll figure it out.
Late March, yeah.
Exactly. And this will be a live episode, and we want to, even though right now we're doing this on YouTube, we want to do it so maybe some of you guys, if you want to, can come on the show and maybe have a quick chat with us about whatever you'd like. If maybe you think you are interested in that, hit us up, and we'll see if we can make it happen.
Yeah, so hit us up on Twitter. Like, if you follow us on Twitter, we'll be able to send you direct messages about how to do that. Yes. So we'll send you secret links, how to join this this chat and stuff like that when it comes to the time.
Send out the secret links, and then they'll be posted all over the internet. And
so yeah, basically what we need to do is we need to confirm that you can actually make it to episode 100, and you can be here at the time that we're going to do it, and that you've got a question ready, so we can get you in nice and smoothly. Right. That's what she said.
Yes.
Basically, that's what we need. So yeah, contact us if that if you want to be on the show. And yeah, we'll get that set up, and we'll get you on our schedule, and we'll get you in there for episode 100. We'll have special guests as well, right? Super secret special guests.
Exciting.
God, really? Okay, yes.
I'm not going to say that Reggie is 100% confirmed, but you should tune in.
Just saying.
We'll put a pin in that.
100% guaranteed.
So for the live part, it's probably going to be mainly just us. But if you listen to like the podcast version on our feed, there's probably going to be a little bit of bonus content. If I'm not lazy, I'll probably even maybe throw in some stuff from older episodes, maybe throughout the episode. I like have this stuff kind of in my head.
It's going to be a clip show. Ugh, this is the worst 100 episode ever.
Worst episode ever.
Oh, fine. I'll just put a bunch of Gimli laughs or something. I mean, I don't care. But yeah, I guess on that note, let's go ahead and close out this episode, guys. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can. You can follow me at DannyBiv, DANNYBIV. James, how about you, man?
Yeah, at Family Complicated. Thank you very much.
Okay. Ty?
Yeah.
I'm Super Cat Drugs. Follow me for some funny tweets about video games.
Sweet.
Absolutely guaranteed.
Not a guarantee.
And Cyrus.
And I am Act Cellside. Follow me or something, I guess.
Cool.
And at the Famicast, if you want to go on the live show.
Yep.
Live 100 show.
Yeah. Well, talk to us. Anyways, that's gonna
call me.
Call me. That's gonna do it for this episode. Thank you guys for tuning in here on YouTube and for listening on the feed and all that stuff. We will catch you next time.
Muchas gracias.
Anime gozaimasu.
Schlange voll.
There it goes again.